Last one for you is going to be Robinhood. I know it's past 11 o'clock, but Robinhood, all-day trend break. It's close. It hasn't happened yet. I've been pretty patient with the hooded one. It was a breakout over yesterday's highs, but I wasn't looking at this at the open. Now it can do the same thing with a potential all-day trend. I don't mind being short crypto, long Robinhood, because Robinhood has had the ability to kind of diverge from Bitcoin the last little bit. But not in it yet. We'll take our time because everything's about the risk reward. We'll enjoy the lunch, although I guess it won't be quite as good as what it was yesterday. I feel like almost impossible to live up to this mythical burger that you guys had.
Yeah, it's not mythical at all.
It's mythical for me because I didn't get it.
Mythical for you, yeah, but it was a good one. All right, thanks everybody. It's 11:01 over to the Midday Show. We'll see you at 2 p.m.
They have that shipping container, you know. Shipping containers.
Yeah, what happens? What happens when
go together there, Joey?
When things switch up.
Greetings and salutations, beautiful people. Welcome to the Midday Show. That is your boy Joey Options. Behind us, we've got the lovely ladies, Dara and Sia. They're on the ones and twos and we're ready to go. All right, let's get right down to work and say hello to everybody moseying on over in the chat. Adam, do you see? Hi ho, up into the halt we frickin' go. H-I-H-O, halted to the upside. M-T-E-N, halted to the upside. Here it comes again. It's going to be a good day of halters. We're ready to go. Shout out to Hangry. Shout out to Pedra. We got the Black Wing Duck. Yes, let's go. Big 40 nephew, old wise trader. I love that name. Winnie the Pooh Guru, Mr. Janky Stock, Homeless God. We got Adina. We got John Corbin, Easy Media. Shout out to Taylor. Shout out to Jesse Hernandez, the Egyptian. Jesse, I've been sending Joey pictures of your Instagram, and there may or may not be AI versions of you coming out shortly. We're going to have to. We love you, though, dude.
He's in a world of trouble.
He's in a world of trouble, says Joey. Mr. Tendies is in the house. PC Hoon. Shout out to Blue Spots, man. Reported, he says. Daily day trades. Beware the monkey hammer. LFG, man. Let's go. The auspicious turtle. We got... who's that? What? John. We got John. We got the Joey. Take it easy, bro. Andre 5071. Yoga Music Chess Academy. Love it. Glory be to God. That's a name. That's not me saying it. Lemon Family. iFast Trades. Mr. Love Shack. William Braids. Shout out to Bart as well as Tilapia and Broccoli, says Stevern. All right, one more here, Joey.
Yes, sir.
Trade Sniper TV. Ayo. Back at you. Just before we see what your boy Joey Opsh is trading, I need to bring your attention to HIHO, $1.35 high. It's Rip City. Rip City. All right, we're up bigly here to the tune of 79, almost 80%. And here we go again. We're taking out the highs as we speak. Into 141 we go. Showing halt parameter. HIHO. We haven't even had an opportunity to set up some orders, man. This is just Rip City. But we all saw what happened yesterday. And if that was the case, it stands to reason that we at least look for that today. And that's what I'm going to be looking for. I'm going to be looking for aggressive multiple halters. We're already getting it. HIHO halted to the upside. MTEN recovering off the volume weighted average price loss. It's got a bunch of higher lows. It just blew through 3. Took out the volume weighted average price. And now, knocking on the door of 4 here, halted at 387. MTEN, Joey, up 0.5% less than 100.
Good.
So we're basically knocking on triple-digit territory.
Good stuff. There we go. Sharif, that's what I'm talking about right here. My boy, woo, there it is. All right, nice. Yeah, what happened to that boy is correct. Okay. All right, man, let's take a little bit of a breath here. We got some things that we need to do. Asesino, give me uno momento, amigo. Right back to where we were. We're going to get into what we were trading here today. It's been just small cap landia as the big caps are just sliding. Not a good look for NVDA, Tesla, even Google starting to sell off a little bit here in AAPL to the downside. So what do? We put them to the side. We don't want to have to deal with that. We want to find some momentum. We started off super hot here on PAVS. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 5 at 100% clip rate. We take our first loss right there, and then we we just hammered it for a couple of cents on this one. This was the largest position of the day. And then we took this, and I actually gave back so much. I'm like, oh no, and then we tried another momentum style, and then we made about half of it right there. So we're rocking and rolling. We're ready to get this small cap party started yesterday.
I can't. This is like music to my ears, bro.
This was no. Hey
Your
man,
boy
listen,
Joey Ops.
it's
man.
my. I'm gonna be honest. It's my style. Like I like the momentum. It is a little hectic. My hotkey system wasn't set up for it. We had to do some adjustment. Which is significantly better now. We took that scalp, which I'm happy about. We did give back a lot on the day, but watch out for PAVS. I think we can continue to climb on this bad boy here. 644% to the top side. But whenever we're ready there, we're all right, man. Let's rock and roll here, guys.
Always ready, bro.
Huge shout out to VinFast for sponsoring today's video. They just announced a massive partnership with AutoBrains and NVDA to bring level 4 agentic AI autonomous driving to life. We are talking next gen intelligent tech that is completely redefining how we hit the road. If you want to see what the actual future of driving looks like, there goes Pavs. Like, click the link in the description and check out VinFast today.
Today, like immediately.
Right away.
Yesterday would be better. Correct? No? Like yesterday would have been better?
Yeah. I mean, yesterday is always better. Like, if we can get it done yesterday, it's always better. And that's what I say. Like, I need something done yesterday, then that would be more ideal.
Yeah, I would appreciate it if it could get done yesterday. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. But like, what are we even talking about here, Sharif? We traded 3 names today. Okay, it's all small caps. So you've seen what we did on PAVS. Now we're gonna go over CCTG. Okay. We're positive here on PAVs, but CCTG has just been halt city. We take this one trade, and then it was just like, okay, attempting. I believe this was, just after the open, it's halting. So I'm like, hey, why? This price isn't even moving. Why do we continuously halt? So it's based off of yesterday's price, apparently, which is extremely important. So there it is. This was a small loss, but we remain positive on this one, nothing substantial. And then it was CPOP. CPOO. As Sharif would like to say it. We take a loss on it, but then immediately we get this big time move, take another one, and then another scalp. So flat on that one. Pavs has been him today. We're paying out the wazoo for fees at this moment here, Sharif, but we may as well stick with the ones that have been working for us. And there it goes, man. Now I understand why you're always like, and there it goes. Yeah, well, here it is. A big time pop. Oh my, wow.
But did you see that?
Did you see that?
Yeah, that's part of the beast.
That is insane.
That is not something that you have the stomach for. I'm not talking about you, I know you do. In general,
I don't even know if I'm still new to this game. I don't know.
Stay away from it because this is part and parcel of trading small caps.
Yeah. Should we pick on Jesse just yet, or are we gonna leave him alone for a little bit?
Leave him alone, bro.
I don't know.
I love it, man. He's still got Sean's picture.
Yeah, he's got Deshaun.
It is a thing there. We might have to suspend him.
Do you know Deshaun? Do you know? Oh
you know he can't be dunking on Katina, man.
Do you know? No.
Red card, says Sir Bud.
Do you know Deshaun Strickland?
I know Deshaun Watson.
You don't know Deshaun Strickland?
Well, of course I know Strickland, but anyway, I thought Deshaun Watson would be funnier there because of the
wow, we missed that. How come? We posted up on that bad boy. Yeah, I get the massage thing. Wow, there it goes, man. $7 all the way up to $8.50.
Absolutely ripping.
Yeah, I tried to get in at that $8 break, Sharif, but it didn't fill me for some reason. That's crazy. Anyways, aside from that, let's send things off
Good luck, Joey, though. We're going to see you.
See ya.
Yep.
Thank you. Today's stock pick is SailPoint. This was one of the tickers that was included in the Trader TV research watch list today. So we're going to take a closer dive into it. They reported their fiscal first quarter 2027 financial results today, and the total revenue currently stands at $280 million, which is up almost 22% year over year. Now, this company is an enterprise identity security leader, basically all across the world internationally. And in their AI sector, AI-driven solutions was where they saw the most growth. Now, last Feb, the company was trading around $26 region. This year in February was when the company was called that it was near its second IPO because it was having a good year. Now the stock is back down, trading around the $16.20 region. The performance, yes, you could say is weak, weighing on the stock. It was dragging down almost 14% pre-market. Now it's down almost 9%. There are concerns over their future outlook. The numbers were great, yes. GAAP loss, however, has come in at $80 million, which is improved from the $185 million year gap loss that it had in the previous year quarter. But if you zoom out and look at the numbers, they're still not the best numbers, which is why we think that the stock is dragging down. Now, a quick fact about the company, that the major ownership of the company is held by a private equity company called Thoma Bravo. So what you can say is they steer the major decisions of the company, although smaller shareholders might want something else, they are the ones who hold the autonomy. That's all for sale. Sending it right back to you.
There goes PAVS into another high of day, 949. Coming down now. I was telling your boy options over here, I'm looking for an 8 drop and pop. Reason I like 8 here, because 8 is a flat top. Now, because of the strength of this one, we may not get 8 in a clean way. So what I'm thinking is 8 1/3, 8 1/4. We're not really getting much of a sell-off here in PAVS, up a highly respectable 828%. Continuing to watch here. I don't need to be first. You know exactly what my thinking is. If you've been watching me trade here for a while, you get into 9. I'm automatically thinking a move into 10, how it comes and how it manifests. That's always where reasonable people can disagree. Continuing to watch. We've got a good defender here above 8.5. So nary a print below 8.5 on this current 5-minute candle, which is just like a minute deep. So we can get in here. We can give it to 8.5, but you know, let's just see if it drops a little bit more so we can get a better cost basis. Buyer at 70, dipping down now. There's a $0.50, losing the $0.50 buyer at 40. Continuing to watch. Let's see what that 8 brings. So we did get current bar low right now. Current bar low, 823. So 8 1/4 buyer on PAVS. I'm less inclined to want to keep my... I'm still blocked. Oh, no, I'm not. Good. Perfect. It just didn't activate for some reason. I'm less inclined to want to give this a tight stop below 8. Assassino, is he there? He's not there. Okay. So my position board won't show up for a second until the boys come back. But I'm less inclined to want to give this a stop like right below 8, just because I think that there's going to be a lot of volatility through that whole dollar. Yep. So what I want to do is I want to give it a little bit more room. I'm thinking possibly 7.5, 7 3/4. That's my idea, just because I don't want to get wicked out when there is a good trade to be had here. So continuing to watch. There it goes, right back up. Let's see if there's continuity through that $9 area. Seller at 69 here locally, Joey. How are you seeing this, brother?
Yeah, I'm just trying to play the momentum here right now. I mean, I'll tell you one thing. Playing these things drastically have to reduce the size. We did get a pop-up into 83s. Now I'm just looking for some continuation. You can see that we're in at 44s. $9 would be ideal. And I did put on a little bit of size. But if this doesn't work really quick, I have to be prepared to get out of it. There we go. There's the uptick that we're looking for. But the tape, there is some defense at this $8 marker. So yeah, and the volatility in this stuff, there we go, Sharif.
I don't know why it's not activating.
Yes,
my hotkeys are not working. This is crazy.
Oh, yeah.
This is some you know what. But
all right, there it is,
not
man.
activating.
Your
here.
hotkeys?
Yeah, which I tried to punch in twice already.
Yeah, same. It was doing that to me this morning. Maybe we should have held on a little bit higher, but I'll be honest with you guys, it's been up, down, and around here with a lot of this trading. For me personally, I mean, it's like, okay, we're green, we're heavy green, and then we're red again, and then we're green. So I've just been like scalping pretty aggressively. So let's see. Again, you just need a different system. I gotta have to steal something off of Jose, because he has a button-based system where he just clicks, and it's just so much faster than me being like, and everything along those lines. So other than that, man, we're gonna look for something maybe that's a little bit more cooler and relaxed. That was fun, just messing around with this stuff. You can see how many trades we've had on it. It's just Scalp City. This would obviously been more ideal if we can hold this 690 marker and then just all the way up here. That would have been a big time trade considering the amount of size. But what I'm putting in here and what's my default, I'm just punching, and it's just like, if it comes against us too aggressive, then it's dangerous, all right? So I have to be prepared for that. The fluctuation is quite insane, but I don't like any of these large cap names, to be honest with you, and I think it's only a matter of time. Let's head over to large cap Landia and see what we have here with NVDA. Again, what I'm really scared of is that even though they're kind of two different spaces, that NVDA falls into Microsoft 2.0. And what do I mean by this?
What do you mean, Joey?
Look, well, what I'm getting at here, Sharif, is this lengthy consolidation, right? Like you're just trading within this range. It's an accumulation. You break out and then you come back right in, okay? Like at this point, we're gonna see sub $200. I'll bet my bottom dollar on that. All right. Now, what do I mean by this, and how am I comparing two completely different spaces to Microsoft? Well, am I really? Like the technicals are pretty close and identical. Look how lengthy this consolidation was from February to January. That's quite a bit. Is that PAVs? Yeah. Quite a bit with a whipsaw move up here, thinking that, oh, okay, we're gonna break out, comes right back in, fails, and then eventually climbs higher, fails again, and it's just been extremely choppy. So that's my worry with this name right now, and it's my heaviest holding. I actually bought some more JPM this morning, and I'm like, you know what? I need to get a little bit of a rotation out of some of these tech names and into something else. And I really like the banks, and I'm liking this staples. Where's the money rotating to? Overall market relatively weak here today, but I think we're gonna see somewhat of a rotation from the MUs, right? Like you see MU down to back to the downside again, and the SNDKs into some of the Walmarts and the staples. So that's what I got, Sharif.
All right, man. I'm in PAVs here, looking for continuation through 9. Initially got in, where do we get in? At 818 or so, 820. Added into the position at 888 or 895 or so. And now basically looking at a lot of 9 resistance. A lot of topping tails candles forming here into 9. We got a 949 high, and here comes $8. Let's watch this area. Does it defend? Below 9 we go. Let's see what we kind of get here on this area. So we're looking for an 8 general area defend. Let's go up to Sia. I think she's got news at the big desk.
Yeah, just keep an eye out for Tesla dropping here right now. Just reports coming in that USTR Greer will be visiting Tesla in California on Thursday, and also that SpaceX's reports coming from multiple sources that SpaceX's IPO was reportedly several times over subscribed. Once again, USTR Jameson Greer will be visiting Tesla in California on Thursday.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah,
That's going to be very interesting there. We'll see what Jameson Greer, U.S. Trade Representative, has to say. 8 defend for now. The structure doesn't look great right now on PAVS. I'm just not going to be able to get to the super chats at the moment. We're going to have to let this trade resolve.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for that, Adam. But we'll keep an eye on it, and then we'll address it in a little bit. Still watching PAVS here, looking for a general 8 hold. Now, I didn't put my stop at $8 for the reasons I articulated earlier. I think it's going to be, you know, a bit of a fool's game to think that you're going to be able to have a very strict stop at a whole dollar or a half dollar and then be able to kind of ride this one cleanly. Now, by the way, the 5-second chart showing a lot of bearishness. We've got an unbroken downtrend here with a couple of spot rejections. I'm talking about a $9 rejection on multiple occasions, but we're still putting in lower highs. We don't seem to have the juice to be able to take out at the moment this $half seller because the shorts are setting up in and around 40 and 50. No continuation. There it goes into 60. I don't get any prints. That still ends up being a lower high unless we can like pop up into 90. And there it goes into 75. We've got 47s looking for more. I'm looking for a through 9 here. We're packing the patience. So 71 showing up, rejecting. So again, unless we get through 9, this setup, the structure of this setup will be a lower high setup. Cut it however you want. That's just the way it is. The trend is what it is. So continuing to watch here, Joey, looking for a move on 9, but we're getting a lot of resistance at around 2/3 to 3/4.
Yeah, all right, good stuff, man. I mean, what a mistake by me.
Oh, Adam sent pizza.
Oh, Adam
Ram,
sent pizza.
There goes
That's the chat.
PAVS.
Someone said that. Wow, there it goes, man. Oh my God, man.
Yes, my boy.
Dude,
Into the high we go. We got a dollar and change on this. Joseph
I chase City.
There we go, my guy.
Man.
All right, man. We're doing it live into the high. Wow, very happy with this trade. Stacked up at $8, double bottom ad, big dub to start the day. This is how it's going to be for the rest of the week because we're going to be looking for a big boy IPO, SpaceX.
So we're supposed to ask the chat. Did someone send pizza? I don't have the chat
I know
open
for
right
a
now.
fact that Adam told me yesterday
did
that
say
he
he
was
was
sending
going
pizza.
to do that. All right.
Oh
so
my
we gotta-
God, read the chat. Hi ho, hi ho. It's off to work we go.
Pizza.
Happy Tuesday, Smash Brothers.
Oh.
Still in Pavs,
go.
HIHO, and grateful
Oh,
I'm
wow,
out of
there it
INHD.
goes, man.
P.S. Gonna be knock on the TTV door at 11:30 a.m. Love this
Pizza
guy, bro.
review time. Bro, he told me how much he made yesterday.
Yeah, I know.
Congrats,
He
man.
told me as well. I was gonna block him.
Oh.
Yeah, the jealousy started running
Right.
through my
I said,
veins.
hey, man. Like
Joseph, are
what?
you watching this,
Dude,
Joseph?
yes. Let me talk about this here real
Oh
quick.
my goodness gracious.
Just hitting the trigger too quick. Dude, 840, and then off to the races it goes. And I take it for another scalp. I gotta hold this up. Holy cow, $10 in change on this stuff. I gotta stop trading it because this is, like, I'm not doing this anymore, Sharif.
Bro, this is a good time, man.
This is a great time. That's the thing, though, man.
This guy, that's his
things
second
are a
time
great
in so
is
many
it from
weeks,
Pizza
right?
Olive again?
Yeah.
Brother, it's Pizza Olive. Listen, we
Pizza
can't do the
Olive.
same review because we already did one. I could do it
Maybe
again.
they're different though, Joey.
Yeah, maybe there are
No,
different.
bro. Like,
Anyways,
so
there goes
grateful.
Pav.
Tell him, Ram Ram. Thank you, Ram Ram. Let's do them one by one. Oh, we got the double cheese with a little
Yeah, that is
leaves
insane.
on
That looks
What are
amazing,
those
brother. I
leaves?
appreciate you.
Basil?
All right, sorry, Mrs. Connoisseur.
Yeah, you didn't know
Basil,
that?
she
You didn't
said.
know that, man? Come on,
Take
man.
this one, Ram Ram. Thank you.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
we're gonna do this one first. Yo, chill, bro. We got the pepperoni classic, you know, pepperoni, Adam, James, abroad, all class. One more, see then we're sending it to you.
Man.
All right, then we got,
Oh, that's crazy. That's
Where's
bold.
Neil? Just when you need Neil.
That's
He's not
bold,
here.
man.
Pineapple pizza for the OG Neil, and there's a lot of cheese on that one as well. Thank you very much, Adam. Kind of you as always, all class, Adam. James abroad, we appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, man.
And with that, you
Should I
have
do a
anything?
pizza-
Should we send it to Sia?
Should I do a pizza review?
We're gonna do a pizza. You're gonna do a pizza.
Yeah, I
review
could do a
because
pizza review.
Your boy is on a diet, so
I would
there's
throw
not
that
gonna
up
be any
there,
review
man.
from my part.
Are we going to Sia?
Let's see what Sia's got to say.
Let's do a pizza review for sure, but real quick before that, let's take a look at some headlines coming for Meta. Meta must give rival AI chatbots unrestricted access to WhatsApp. This is coming from the European Commission. Is also saying that EU antitrust regulations have told Meta to let competing AI chatbots use WhatsApp for free. Meta must follow EU order within 5 days, and EU has stated that the order will remain until Meta investigation is complete. However, Meta has announced plans to challenge this EU mandate, and Meta has claimed EU order is excessive regulation funded by European companies. With that, watch Meta.
Well said, Sia. Absolutely watch Meta. Another day, another European intervention in an American company. It's like, you know, you wake up, there's certain, you know, ubiquitous things you see wherever you go.
Yeah,
Right?
and
The sun comes up,
and then it's
right. There's sun, there's day, there's night, and there's a European regulator meddling with American companies.
guys
There
are,
goes, though, PAVS, Joey, up into another high of day. 1047 now. This is above 10. It's on its horse here. Let's see if it's got the juice to stay above 10.
Oh, wow,
Buyer
what a
here. Let's
tank.
see. No, not strictly going to stay above 10. Right back above 10 we go. Let's go. My hotkeys are not working. Why is that? Oh, because I was using the wrong ones, Joe.
Oh, that would make sense.
I'm an idiot. I'm
Wow, what
sorry,
a
guys.
thing.
I suck. All right, yeah, whatever, man. Here we go. We got 8s on. Let's go ahead. Whoa. What's going on over there? Looking for 1025, then looking for 1033. And then we also need to wait. Basically, let's just put a little bit below that $0.50. Seller at 14 here locally. That mid-teens, we can't shake the seller. Keeps rejecting at mid-teens. Into 20 it goes. No continuation. No 25s either, despite the fact that I saw 25s flash there. There it goes. Taking out my orders. We're back in at 08s. We got 25. There it goes again.
Dude.
Baby, let's go, Pavs. This one is on its horse. Boom.
Holy
into the
cow.
high of the day. We take out the high. Here comes 11. We're looking for more, Joey. Let's see. Do we get a big drop now? Have we cleared 10 by sufficient enough distance that we can start using, you know, that whole dollar level as a good area of support? We're going to need to see a little bit more price action there so we can see what kind of buyers are stepping in on the bid. But right now, we're zigging. We're zagging. We got 11 on the ropes, and we're looking to take out 12, and there it goes again. Into 1138, guys. Here we go, man. This is it. If you are a small cap trader and you are not loving what you are seeing right now, then you have it all wrong. This is the Super Bowl. These last 2 days of small caps, man. I haven't seen it like this since COVID. So let's get right down to work here. What are you looking at, Joe?
Dude, I was in the exact same thing, but just again, I got to do something with these hotkeys so I don't have to take it all out. And it's just relatively quick. Like, I mean, look at this. So I get in here, scalp there, and then off to the races it goes. So I'm missing some really, really big trades, especially with the size that I'm putting on. Maybe just a little bit of an adjustment period, but we don't want to make too many excuses because there's no reason for me not to be in this trade from $8, and now it's at $12. So we got to figure something out, and it's continuing to climb. You're up 1,200% at this point.
It's gonna hold.
Yeah, it's gonna hold. So I mean, I'm literally tripping over dollars to collect pennies. So we really have to hone in and figure out what we got going on. Pabs has been on fire for us today, and we're gonna remain with it. There's hi-ho, HIHO, and then CNET. What's CNET up to? Not as liquid. Pab seems to be the victim of today's small cap land here, Sharif. Now you're going to run into $13, I think, at this point. Can't just chase it all the way up here. This thing has been absolutely insane. I wonder how Jose's been performing on it. Yeah, limit up there. So this thing is crazy. Well, you have some of the large caps just going absolutely tank city. You have this about to hit 1,300% to the top side. So some really, really good looks. We need to hold on to them for a little bit longer, especially considering the PDT rule. I think a lot of it has to do with this, is that, hey, you're gonna have a new influx of individuals who can trade more now. I think I'm not gonna say it's gonna be the new norm, but be prepared for it to last a little bit longer than what we're expecting.
Yeah, especially if margin starts coming into the fore here. But can I say something? Brokerages typically with these type of names, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, they typically don't extend margins. Extend margins to these kind of things. So my understanding, at least on my brokerage, is this is a 1-to-1. So if you want to trade this on IB, you got to throw up the money. They're not gonna loan you any money. That doesn't have to be the case with everybody else. So I'd love to hear what everybody else's experience is. Are you able to get margin on PAVS or any similar type of name? Because I'm not. Successful says same thing. Dan Time says don't use margin, but definitely not. Says Dave, yeah, no, I'm not, brother. I'm just, you know, we're speaking as to why there may be so much volatility coming into these names. Yeah, they don't allow more margin. Okay, that's correct. Everybody's sort of agreeing with me here. Okay, broker blocked ticker at all. Yeah, you're not the first person to say that, Oxlong. I was talking to Wainers back there. He's the floor manager, and he was trying to punch into STI last week, and they were basically just blocking him. So let's get down to this. KC 520-6, being gracious, magnanimous, generous as she always is, dropping 10 Trader TV Live premium YouTube memberships. Benton, you got one, my man. Shout out to Douglas, Jesse Hernandez. No, I thought he didn't have it. All right, Paul. Armenian Muscle, you got one, my man. T227 time. AR 053X. Jason C. ZZ. Bo PW. Panuru 1972. All you guys got a free Trader TV Live YouTube membership, and I would be remiss if I didn't tell you where to go get the morning note every single day that I prepare. Mosey on over to the YouTube homepage for Trader TV. It'll look a little something like this. Click on posts right there. And then mosey on down. It says the morning market brief. Just hit read more. Click that link. And there she goes right there. U.S. ceasefire hopes, pressure crude prices. Right? We talk about USO. We talk about the dead one, Apple. Nvidia looks like Jensen was, lovingly called by Senator Warren, which he rejected. Surprise there. BABA, Pentagon, as well as some of these other Chinese ADRs, Intel and Cadence tie up. Micron gets a street high upgrade from UBS. Applied Digital ramping up, at least in the morning. Microsoft with their OpenAI filing and the investment they have in that. We cover the gauntlet. So go ahead. Now that you guys are premium members, you can mosey on over and get that morning note every single day. Let's get right down to work here, though. PAVS halted 1333. But let's get focused here on CGTL. Looks like the chart's going to freeze. I do apologize for that. We'll pack the patience here. Hopefully it will, yeah, well, that's the way it is, SSC. There's nothing I can do about it. CGTL looks like it's ripping, but we can't really show it to you right now. There it is. Let's see if it freezes again. I'm hoping it freezes again. Oh. 81 penny high, ripping through 79. We still have that pre-market high at 755, which got to about 93 pennies, 92, 99 technically. So we're on the way. We could see $1. I'm willing to bet that this one probably sees $1, just given how these small caps are trading. We're above 100%. It's a beautiful looking rounded bottom pattern off yesterday's closing print. Look how cleanly it holds yesterday's closing print at around 38 pennies. So CGTL in focus. We already mentioned high ho, up into the halt we go. And then we also have PAYO. This is also up a respectable 27 4/5. Whoa. There we go.
All right, Chief.
664, Joey. Just one more over here. We could see 7 on this one. And then last but not least, the multiple halter MTEN. Keep your eye on this one. It's struggling to maintain its position above VWAP, but this could also catch a bid. Keep an eye out for $5 resistance at the extremes. Those were the highs yesterday in the aftermarket with no halt parameters, Joey.
All right, good stuff, man. I want to talk a little bit about Tesla. We just had that news. I mean, we said inside day yesterday, and then it's just absolutely disastrous right now within this name. So unless you're going short, I don't know if it's going to be one of those sessions where you're going to find any form of a bottom. Could I be wrong? Could the narrative change? Absolutely. Things can change on a dime without any question. But let's take it. We'll go back to the daily and see what we have. This is important. And as soon as I seen this on the Nasdaq, CGTL open up again, or it was never closed, but it never halted, but it's now breaking through the high of the day, Sharif. So not too bad of a look there on Creative Global Technology. But what I want to do is we'll head over to back to small cap land because I think it's a lot more fun than what we have going on in the large cap, considering it's just absolute tank city here today. Now, as soon as I seen such an aggressive selling day, I'm like, there's a little bit more to come. I do like this. Why? Because there's going to be a good opportunity for me to reload into some good names, and that's going to be kicking things off with Google. I think it's only a matter of time. I wouldn't be surprised if it's by the end of the week where we can get sub 358. All right, and that's going to put us around that around 15%. It's open. What's it doing right now? Let's head over there.
Joey. It's bleeding its own blood.
It halted
970 limit down.
I think it goes back. This thing is really strong today. I think what we're looking for here, Sharif, is maybe a 2.0 of what we had yesterday. I forget whatever the name was, but I think this has a good opportunity to do so. You're up 1,100% at this point. Allow it to halt down once or twice, and then I think we'll have the ability to climb because there's clearly buyers engaged with this, and then there it goes, man. CGTL. I'm not in it. There it is. There it is. Bang. Oh, let's see if we can get another strong uptick on this bad boy. Oh, yeah, it tanked aggressive there, my boy. We're going to have to hold on to this bet and see if we can get it a little late on the trigger, and we have to be prepared to get out whenever it tells us to do so, all right? So if this fails, then it's just adios. Whoa, get me out.
I'm not seeing limit down yet, but let's see here. Limit up 1389. Limit up, I saw 10 something. Limit down, but we're too far away from the limit down at the moment. So we're kind of in the intermediate part of the price action, or the price range, I should say. Here comes 13 again. Looking for 13 and a breach through that. It's a 1360 high. Well, that's the intraday high. And it's also the current bar high. So we just made that intraday high within this 5-minute chart. Here comes 75. We're ripping here. This could be a big move up through 13. Seller in the mid to low 80s currently anyway. Let's see if we can shake them. Not seeing that's immediately apparent here. Still watching. I don't think there's anything for me to do quite yet. By the way, CGTL topping till candle in 87, dropping into 75. That's 12 pennies off the high on CGTL. Could be a buying opportunity because it's holding current bar low. Here comes 13. There goes 13. Joseph options. Nice, let's see if we can pick it up here. Looking for a big move up. There it goes. Wow. Perfect entry. Boom. Into 14. My money, man. 14 in, boom, right off 13 into 14, 1475 limit up here. Watch out 1475 limit up. Can't shake the $0.50 seller currently up 1,400%. 1522 limit up now on PAVS. So that limit up obviously changes. Wow, we almost got to 1522. Joey, 1520 high now.
Crazy.
This is insane. I love it. I love it. I love trading these.
Yeah, that's crazy,
yeah.
man.
I know. Glad I admit that voice, Joey. My bad. 1522, continuing to watch, but yes, get it, Hunian Muda. Boom. Whoa. Let's go. 1581 limit up now, and that is the high of the day. It's just like, yo, why am I even bother getting any out, man? Let's just let this ride.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Let's let this ride.
I shouldn't have got out right. I got out right at the lows, and then now it was ripping, man. That was crazy.
No, it's the part and parcel of the game, my boy. 1581 limit up still. We're getting into that limit up, but we're not hanging out there for long enough to halt. So now we've initiated the halt parameter. And false halt again, limit up, 1622 now. 1622 limit up. I think we're going to see that pretty close. Here comes. We're at 21s. The short sellers are running scared. I mean, after what we saw yesterday, why do the short sellers want to stand in front of this thing? That's what I don't understand. Just wait till it comes down. Like, did anybody post on X yesterday? Because usually you tell me about this stuff. When people get blown out of the short, and they're usually posting like 6-figure losses. Remember that happened?
Yeah.
Did anybody post?
I didn't. I don't know. I haven't been on.
Nobody posted. Get it, Casey? That's what I want to hear, Casey. I want to hear these declaratory statements. We're going to 20. It's a fact. Get it, Casey? 1659. Limit up. But continue to watch this. I love Crunk Juice Sharif. Chunky four-armed trap. Get it, Chunky.
Sharif, hold on. I got to take over for you. You have some mic issues right now.
Oh, my bad.
Apparently
I think it's because I'm yelling in the mic a lot.
That's all right, man. It happens. Man, oh, man, what a disaster. There it goes, $17. We wanted the long at $13.24. Another mistake there. So that's it, man. I mean, we took a pretty hefty hit on that. I need to adjust my size because at the end of the day, can't be pushing it what I got going on, especially when it's chopping dollars like that. So that's it for me here today. That was crazy stuff, man. Can engage with the chat and see what we have going on. Yeah, big time mistake right at the lows, too. Your mic is good, apparently. Okay, I just Assassino told me, so I
just
had to.
Assassino?
Yeah, right there. Okay, let's send things over to the desk with Juan.
Excited to have Juan back here with us to discuss, once again, the European close. What ticker should we be watching now?
Thank you so much, Adira. So, European markets after the close bouncing back off yesterday. If we take a look at some of the indexes making the news, Stocks Europe 600 up by about 0.35%. Firmly green throughout the day with macro risk premiums steadily unwinding. Over in Germany, they were down marginally by 0.14%. They trimmed morning gains by holding a key technical floor ahead of Thursday's ECB decision. Over in France, the CAC 40 up by 0.6%, clocking solid gains in banking as well as luxury brands, catching a strong intraday bid. And in the UK, FTSE 100 down marginally by 0.27%, dropping to daily lows as sliding oil majors and a banking sell-off squeezed London. Eurostoxx 50 futures up by about 1%, holding on to its morning gains as institutional desks, they look past yesterday's panic. So some key talking points from the region. Of course, geopolitical relief, lowering oil costs, that definitely is big news. That dragged Brent crude down by about $92 a barrel, and that was a massive relief factor for energy-heavy continental factories. The index flip-flop, basically all the index tables, they made a turnaround after yesterday and due to the oil prices. And then, of course, German DAX and the French CAC, they surged on low input cost fears, and chip stocks like Infineon, they were up by about 3%. Those were leading the charge. And finally, of course, I mentioned it yesterday, it's the ECB print that's coming up on June 11th on Thursday. That's definitely traders are penciling in a quarter-point move, but the bank is expected to signal caution to any July follow-up. So what do you think about that, Adira?
I think that ECB decision is absolutely going to be on watch. You know, ASML, I also read, apparently the first European company to reach a certain market cap milestone, obviously trading lower now in the U.S. session, but lots to discuss in Euro. Once again, thank you so much to Juan, and you can catch him at 3:30 p.m. to cover other closes of other markets.
She drinks wine by the glass, not by the bottle. She ain't stuck on the past, ain't worried about tomorrow. Come on, man, you got to get on that Ella Langley train, my guy.
I think I'm all right, man.
Oh, come on, Joey, man. What's going on? Let's say hello to Blicky Spears. Thank you, Case, for pointing this out. Blicky, I feel like the big investors are pulling at a tech to prepare for SpaceX. That would also explain why small caps are booming right now. Couldn't agree more. I just don't see the association with small caps, though. But, well, I guess maybe because there's some temporary liquidity on the side waiting to be deployed on Friday. But that's kind of the same argument that we've also heard with respect to crypto, right? So if you believe some of the crypto bulls, especially Michael Saylor, he posits that we're looking at outflows just to bring in new inflows into SpaceX, as well as some other IPOs that we're still waiting for. So whether you believe that narrative, I think reasonable people can disagree. We'll have to wait and see, of course. Thank you also to KKC, ZF, KTJ, dropping $6.99 Canadian in the super chat. But Joey, it's not accompanied by any message. So KKC, tag Joseph or I, and let us know what the message is, and we'll get to it. So
Yeah, absolutely.
that's it there. All right, what are you looking at, Joey?
All right, good stuff, man. I mentioned, yeah, we took that hefty hit, so that's it for us here today. I mean, man, same thing. Like, that's the thing, right? Like, when you're trading slightly frustrated, you have to be cautious. Why? Let me break it down for you. So we have these beautiful, beautiful scalps. They may not look like much, but then when you're adding shares to it, it's like, okay, you take it for what it is. And then I miss this one, and I'm like, what the heck? And then I'm providing this liquidity right here. That sucks as this continues to just rip after our entry point climbs $3. So be a little bit more patient on that bad boy, and then sure enough, we'll be able to participate in that. Now, I bought SPY 727 puts for $12 and sold mostly at $106. Thanks for the confidence. Hey, it's all you.
Get in, Nicole.
Yeah, you're the one pushing the buttons at the end of the day, so congratulations. And I hope everyone has fantastic and continues to kill it here. It
See
seems
that,
like
Joey?
No, I didn't see it.
50.
There it goes.
Ferrari,
Pavs,
F50.
Pavs is open. Who did that? Jesse?
That's
Or
Jesse.
John Zuver. No, John Zuver did
John,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, John did that. Thank you. I mean, that's a lot of names to go through. We'll go through a couple. PZ Trey, Jose Nunez, Vibe Guy, a couple more here. Johnny and Jesse. Jesse already has one, but there goes Pavs all the way up to $18. There, you're at 16. That's crazy. Wow, FOMO.
Let's freaking go
FOMO.
into the high, Joseph. We do
FOMO,
it again, man. Bottom picking. 2019 limit up. We have $19.99 on the high. Here we go again. 2019 limit up parameter engaged, but false halt. Down we go again. Same limit up right now. 2019. Continuing to watch here. PAVS. It's been good. It's going to continue to remain good. Shout out to John Zuver. Thank you very much, John, for dropping 50 Membies just like that. If you are not in the chat, you cannot get the membership. That's the thing. You have to be engaged in the chat, like typing and engaging with people, and then you'll be eligible to get one of these Membies. So thank you very much for John for that. Appreciate you there. KKC, halt perimeter engaged here, 21.95 limit up on PAVS. Why the market dropped today? It's a great question. False halt right now on PAVS, back into halt parameter, 21.95, showing again it has to be at this level for about 10 seconds. False halt again, down we go. 22.91 limit up now. 22.91, I can't believe what I'm seeing here. But are you surprised? I'm personally not surprised after what we saw yesterday. So this jives completely, it tracks whatever verb you want to use anyway. Why the market dropped today? I don't know. It's hard to say, man. I mean, there's sort of the thesis from Friday was that the jobs number came in better than expected, and as a result, inflation starts becoming part of the conversation again. And with jobs staying stronger, at least for one print, you're definitely going to kick down the rate cutting sort of projections down the road. And there's a plethora of reasons. It could be, definitely some of the weakness here we're seeing in the chip sector, which tend to lead the market. But I also want to mention you're seeing an outsized drop in the Nasdaq, the tech heavy, it's about down 2%. The Dow's only down half. The Russell's only down half. The SPY is down 1. So I would say, you know, there's definitely concentration in tech, but that also makes sense because we were just so aggressively to the high side, right? And we all know the old adage, you take the escalator up and you take the elevator down. So no real specific reason, but, you know, we'll see. But thank you very much for that. Shout out to Mr. Duckett. Shout out to Rayleigh1. Welcome to Trader TV. Welcome to Young Spence 24 as well. Thank you for joining. Oh, and then we got Long This. He's dropping 20 nice ones in the chat, Joey. Guys. Oh, oh yeah, hold on. We'll get to that one in a second, Assassino. Just the one right before that, though. If we can, no worries. Guys, I've struggled to find a SpaceX immediate path to profits justifying the stock price. But then heard Musk sees space as the future for data centers, free solar power, and unlimited cooling. Thoughts? Look, I happen to like that narrative, but as we've been talking about on the morning show, spoke about it yesterday, spoke about it today, industry analysts are saying that you're likely not going to have mass deployment of data centers in space until you bring down the cost per kilogram to put something into orbit. Currently, it's about $1,000. It's not an exact price. It's a round range. And they're talking about more like $100 where it becomes more practicable. How long it takes to achieve that kind of reduction in price, I think reasonable people can disagree. Your guess may be as good as mine on that. But it's, you know, we know Elon, right? Not great with timelines, but typically delivers, right? So you have to kind of think through, you know, that lens, or that's kind of what I'm trying to say there. I'm personally going to buy the SpaceX IPO. To me, it's not going to be something that I check every day and, you know, panic about it. It's going to be a buy and hold, set and forget sort of thing. And then you add at technical levels like we do with all our other holdings, right? And then you throw out the orders out there so you don't have the emotional volatility come time to add, right? Those have to be there and they have to trigger without your input. That's how I see it. KC 520 freaking 6. She told us, Assassino, she told us this was gonna happen. $20 bang, told you, haha. Opens 11:49. I love your energy, Case. Get it, man. This is a beautiful time to be trading small caps, guys, but it also could be an easy time to get rinsed. Trade them carefully, Joseph.
Yeah, I could teach you guys a little bit about a rinsing just on this trade right there. No, I'm being dead serious, man. It's no joke. Like, if you're going to start pushing shares on this thing, be prepared, especially if you have risk parameters. Like, you're rocking and rolling throughout the whole day, and then it's just that one mistake. Like, we're not gonna kind of hide all of this stuff. This is the reality of what it is. And it's just boom. And then guess what? I miss out on like $10 of the top side. No, it's frustrating. It's frustrating, but it's everybody's. It's only my fault at the end of the day. So what do? We come back in tomorrow. We size down. We have our default a little bit lower, and then we look to do the exact same thing that happened today. It's that simple. I mean, you're up 2,000%. This is insane. Adam James has been killing this one. We've been looking at PAV since bright and early this morning. So I mean, what's to say that this isn't going to happen again tomorrow? It may or may not, but I believe with the PDT rule coming into play, we talked about this time and time again.
Jeez.
I think this is going to help, right?
Joey, like, can I show you one?
What's up?
CGTL is Rip City right
Okay, go. Yeah, go. If you want to talk about it, like,
Joey.
There it is. It's breaking through the high of the day. I can't take anything, but this is my ideal setup right here. The high of the day break on CGTL. Yeah.
NQ, yep.
On the NQ Creative Global. So let's see if that momentum, look, boom, uptick there. I don't know. I don't think this is a halt, but you pay that 83-cent break.
94 halt. Joey.
Boom, and then off to the races you go on this bad boy. So just be patient and don't get over antsy like myself and just like really start punching keys. It's not going to work. Good stuff there. 93-cent. You say 94 halt, Sharif?
94 halt, Joey. Exactly.
All right. So there it is. Another 142%, man. We're seeing a rotation, I think. It's like, hey, small caps are great, but look at what the mega caps are doing. And I'm talking to one of my buddies on Discord. I'm like, dude, you have to hop on this train because who asked, was it, why are we selling off in some of these markets? Who asked us that one?
I forget the.
Anyways,
long this, I think.
Yeah, long this. I'll tell you why. Because regardless, CGTL still going 94. I wouldn't be surprised if it halts here momentarily. But this is my opinion. All right. And I'm going to stick by it. I just truly firm that when you do this, you're going to see something. I mean, what is it? Newton's what law? Like with every action, you get an equal and opposite reaction. I don't know if it's third law or whatever it may be.
Yeah, good question there. I don't know.
Right. So anyways, listen, this is all fun and games, but be prepared for what's going to happen on the other side of things. That's the narrative. That's what happens. That's why I'm like, hey, I don't even care if I miss out on these big time runs, because if I'm patient enough, I'll have the ability to get in on these stocks on some good prices. And if it's a buy the dip scenario, then congratulations, you're going to get things you waited. You didn't chase all the way up here, and you're not stuck. You're not DCAing into an oblivion. You wait for levels to come into your play. If you have the cash, CSP all day, every day, and then eventually you get assigned and you own the stock at the price that you want. Stocks come down. Sia, tell us what you're talking about.
No, hold on. Guys, halted up. HAMA. Sorry, 475 limit, 470 limit up. High a day, 509. Also, keep your eye here on PAVS. A new high a day, possibly incoming, 2669. Sorry, see, I just had to update them on HAMA.
All good. Keep an eye out. WTI. China saying that sources are saying that China has released its second batch of fuel export quotas totaling 18 million metric tons, which is the same as last year. Take a closer look. That's all. Repeating again, China released a second batch of fuel export quotas totaling 18 million metric tons, same as the year earlier. Sending it back to you.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, just tell me a little bit. Sorry, nice, man. Nice work on the contracts. But yeah, I mean, it's the reality of what trading is, right? Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I have, for some reason, my gut feelings just happen to work out for me. And I don't want this to happen with this specific name, because I think everyone's so in love with it, but the float is so large. And that's why I said earlier this morning, like as soon as we came on the show, I really pray that this doesn't fall into a Microsoft 2.0 where you just go through these 10-month consolidations and not really do anything. I'm just getting the hunch that that's what's going to happen. And you have to be... yeah, it does. It feels like that. It feels
that way for a little bit on Nvidia.
Like you have that breakout and then it comes right back in, right? Yeah, exactly. So you don't get the continuation, right? Because I forget what Brian Shannon and how he phrased it. It's just the fact that the longer the consolidation, the longer the breakout, and if you don't have any form of continuation after that, then there might be something up. We talked about the notional value of the actual short interest here on NVDA, and it's not pretty. So this is something that you want to hold on to, but maybe not go as heavy as what I'm doing. And I'm telling you from experience, don't listen to me, but I'm just saying, just in case, here's the example. If things look awfully similar, and if, hey, Sharif, if it walks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, it might be a duck. So there it is. Almost the same pattern, a year plus on Microsoft, and you have 10 months on NVDA, you eventually break out and then just come back in.
Sorry, just
I could give you time. You're in
trying to get out of it, bro. It just doesn't let me out, man. Like I made so many hockey
let's go over some super chats there.
I'm out.
Okay, you're out. You're good?
Good.
Okay, good.
All right, good. Please. Yeah, it was like hockey mania era here. All right, good. Gave back a little bit there on HAMA, still up substantially on the day, but hey, that's just the way it goes. Tried to get on the breakout. I just added here by accident, not gonna lie to you guys. I hotkeyed air, but this accidental ad ended up getting me out a little bit of trouble, but hey, that's just the way it goes. But I can't even say, come on and fly, Todd. Can y'all do some actual market analysis? Absolutely, brother. What would you like us to talk about?
What does it mean?
I don't know. I guess he doesn't like the small caps. Let us know what you want to talk about, brother. What specifically are you looking to have ironed out? Are you talking large caps here? Are you talking semis? Tag me. Let me know exactly what you're.
Let me say something before we get into that.
Yeah.
You've been trading since 2020. 2020. I've been in this game since 2022. I went full time. To say like listen, at times I was like, why would I trade these small cap names? I like trading the large cap name. I understand, to each their own. But the fact that you're going to be subjective within your vehicle that you trade, is slightly ignorant, in my opinion. You want to keep your mind as open as possible, and I found that I like those momentum. Like, think about it. I've only been trading these things for once in a blue moon, right? But you want to remain open-minded, because that's the best way. Like, you can take things. It's like, okay, small caps aren't running today.
Yes, sir.
Let's go over to the large caps. Large caps are selling off today. Let's head over to the small caps. Give yourself the ability to be nimble and versatile. Don't just be like completely, I only trade this and that's it. No, it doesn't make sense. Trust me. Shreve's been in this game. These guys been doing it for 25 plus years.
Yeah. They're the real traders.
They're like, listen, just stay open-minded. And you know what they say, Shreve?
What do they say, Joey?
The smartest people on the planet take bits of information from everybody.
Oh, well said.
Right? They're not just like, no, I don't just believe in this, this, and this. Like the most intelligent individuals are the ones sitting in there listening to what everybody has and takes bits of information. And the fact that I was ignorant to this stuff for that long,
I don't know if you were ignorant, brother. I mean,
I tried here and I dabbled here and there, but it's good stuff. So.
Well, I think your point is very well taken. I think you're getting a lot of love in the chat, rightfully so. Let's go ahead. Facts, says Wendy's Tendies. Todd, Nasdaq is going wild. Sorry, didn't mean to sound rude. No, you're not, brother. I mean, it's fine. Look, the Nasdaq is getting clipped. We're back into 700. Let's do a little TA here. You never really know exactly why things are selling off, but we can make educated guesses. Let's look at the, so we're right back into the Friday low. So here we are right at 700. Yesterday ends up being a green day, but we are engulfed by today's price action. We both breached yesterday's high and failed yesterday's low. So a bearish engulfing candle. It looks like it's setting up for a flat bottom break through 700 on the triple Qs. The real question is, pardon me, let me just maximize that, is if we do get that monster retracement, are we headed back down to area highs? Because guys, the area high is 640. From 700 to 640, look at that double top. That earlier move from late October and then late January. We rejected 640, and then we sold off, of course, on the initiation of the Iran war, and then basically bottomed out end of March. And since that end of March to the high that we put in not long ago at 750, we're up 35% off that low. Now, obviously, we're dropping back down. So the question then becomes, to me anyway, are we just going back to the 50 period, which is the red line always on my chart, or are we really going to retrace here, come back in, test that double top at 640? That's what I can tell you from a technical sense. At least that's how I see it. You know, whether or not, you know, we're just experiencing some, I don't want to say near-term volatility, because the move up was so aggressive and we're just having a couple of days pull back. But those were gnarly looking candles, both on Friday and today. So I do see your point there. I can't believe what's happening, guys. Guys, it's not stopping. The action is not stopping. MTEN is going to halt up. Look at the rip. It's taking out 4.25. MTEN is really going. There's a lot of resistance at 475 with the extreme showing 543. Why I say 475? Look at the aftermarket yesterday. 535, 540, 545. They all come into that 475. We got to that 475 again at 725. We got to that 475 again at 520. And here we are at 453. So MTEN needs to be in focus for you. So is HAMA. It's halted down. So watch out for that. PAVS halted down. And then one I said very little about just before we go to SIA is AZI. And AZI has been being called out by a lot of people here. So I do want to mention that. Now, it doesn't fit my profile quite yet. It's got to get above the volume weighted average price, which is showing 550, 560. But that's not the end of the matter for me. I'm going to kind of insist that it get above that double top at 940 and 945 that we couldn't shake. That ends up being the intraday high, 622. So that's what I'm looking at there for AZI. But it's small cap, central city, small cap season, whatever you want to call it, for the moment. But SIA's got happening now. Is it happening now? No, she's just news.
Yeah, just an update real quick here. Take a look at CRM. Salesforce has laid off more employees, affecting teams working on Agentforce, MuleSoft, and Marketing Cloud. This is coming from certain business insiders. Reuters has also confirmed it. Salesforce, CRM, laying off more employees, affecting teams working on Agentforce, MuleSoft, and Marketing Cloud, coming from Business Insider. Sending it back to you.
Yeah, more layoffs. It's not good, but that's kind of the way it is there. Video Arcade, thank you very much, Video Arcade, for the $5 super chat there. You guys are the best. Thank you for small caps, a quadruple plus.
That's
thank you very much, Video Arcade. Kind of you to say. Stick with us, man, because you know how it's going to be on this show. From 11 to 2, we will be talking about small caps, come hell or high water. So if you're into that kind of thing, hang.
You're talking about everything, man.
I'm just
cap. Yeah. We talk about everything,
but like
you know
because I trade exclusively small caps, we're going to be talking about
like think about it. When we do news as well too, it's like, hey man, we're talking about what the big participants 100%. Are. So like that's what I'm saying. To add to that individual's comment, it's like we literally talk about everything. And I just went on a 5-minute spiel on how I believe that NVDA is going to end up something like Microsoft. Right, so we're here to do it all, man, and we're gonna have a lot of fun doing it, regardless. So yeah, stick with us. Hold on, Sharif. Yesterday we got 1,000 likes. How many can we? Yeah, Katina, after 2 to 4 hours as well too. So we got 6,200 people watching right now. How many likes do we have? 307.
You have the option to like and subscribe.
Oh,
this trade has unlimited upside.
All I can do is smile, man, because that dude had a head of hair, man. This guy.
I didn't judge
rolling, so stay in the game. Like, subscribe, and let's go.
Let's go. 400
I don't know why I have to make that face when I flex.
Well, I think it goes with it.
Make that face.
But do us a solid. Let's get to 1,000 likes here momentarily. 5,600 people watching. We're ready to rock and roll. We're gonna have a good time doing it, bro. That big smile, yeah, Jesse. That's what we're here for. Who we sending it to? Sia, and then Neil with his less than a day.
Let's start by taking a look at the 3 major averages for today. The SPY currently down 1.3%. The triple Qs down close to 3%. And the Dow Jones currently trading flat. Let's take a look at our stories for today. Apple has slid after the Siri AI reveal at the WWDC. Here's what Apple announced. Let's take a quick look. New frameworks that will allow app developers to tap into Apple's AI on iPhones and Macs, which will be called Apple Intelligence, as well as the new version of Siri called Siri AI, which is based on large language models. Apple has also revealed that it is using a cloud model comparable, cloud model comparable to so-called frontier models to help from Google and Nvidia. Analysts have shown good enthusiasm about this and also the Siri announcement and improvements. But some analysts have said that there were not many surprises to this and that wouldn't be a short-term boost for the stock, especially since Apple did not commit through a release date for its Siri. Currently, Apple down 3.4%. We're going to take a look at, there was a wrong chart on the screen. I apologize for that. JPM planning to deploy more powerful AI agents this year. JP Morgan Chase's plans to deploy AI agents this year after it has said that it can operate autonomously for hours at a time. Derek Waldron, who is the JP Morgan Chief Analytics Officer, has also said that AI agents are evolving from tools that complete single tasks to digital workers that manage workflows across multiple steps and disparate software platforms. This is coming from his interview with CNBC. JP Morgan has also said that AI is already boosting business results, which include a 20% increase in private banking gross sales and could eventually allow bankers to expand its client coverage by almost 50%. With that, JPM is currently trading flat. Neil, is it your lesson? If it is, what plans do you have and what lesson do you have for us today?
I could always just shadow Adam James abroad for the pizza. I didn't even realize, I came back and get up, go for a little bit of a walk, and I see this pizza up in this joint. So I appreciate you to Adam. You know what, the lesson of the day is, sometimes, you think I'm eating the one with pineapple? Sharif turns to me, he's like, Neil, where's the one with pineapple? I didn't lose a bet. Last I checked, did I lose a bet? Huh? Did I lose a bet? No, this is just straight up pepperoni. There is a pineapple pizza, but I didn't lose a bet. Nobody actually made a wager that could get me to do it, I was open to the idea, but you guys suggested a symbol, and I was like, no to that one, because the small cappers are going crazy. And I think something that Joe said is, I'll just co-sign what Joe was talking about with regards to staying nimble, staying open-minded. If because of PDT, small cappers are where it's at, then that's where you should go. I haven't been doing this 25 years, like he said. He's trying to put a couple extra years up in this, but we can save that for when we actually get to that point in 2 years. But over that time, all the successful traders that I've seen who've had any kind of a stretch here at Real Trading have been incredibly nimble. They trade, they skate where the puck is going. They don't sit there trading one thing every single day. If crypto's hot, they trade crypto. If silver's hot, they trade silver. If blue ocean's hot, they're trading overnight. If Europe is hot, they trade Europe. Small cappers, pink sheets, and up and down the line. That being said, there's also something else I wanted to get to, because you know what? Every now and then, I want to show you sometimes how razor thin your days can be. Anyone that watches knows that I keep relatively tight stops and try to keep it tight to the vest. I don't really take those two big hits. But one or two things can easily derail your day and psyche. Like, this is me on IBIT. Okay, well, that was fine. Maybe got out a bit early. Like, I had reasons for it, right? Like, we talked about this little gap fill, and when it caught a bit of a bounce, why I'm getting out. And I'm like, oh, well, we'll just pivot over to BM&R. So even if I only got half the move on IBIT, this is my day on BM&R. Some days it's just like this. Like, this is probably the first time where I was simultaneous short both. It's being like, okay, these are both good-looking setups, and I like the crypto short. And I was in, I reloaded. I was willing to take it on the breakdown, like to pull back into the prior low. And then when it ran my stop, did not get back in. I was away from the desk, and it is what it is. I think a lot of times the best you can do, and we've all been there, right? Like, there's nothing groundbreaking about this. When you've been there, it could be that you made a topping tail wick on the way in on a breakout trade. Like, you punched the absolute high and then it immediately rejected. That can be your frustration point. It could be that you were dead on about an idea of something, but the trade never set up. Like, you just didn't find a way in. I think one of the more frustrating things that can happen to a trader is not those two. It's when you do have the thesis for it, you are in the trade, and then you just get the worst possible out multiple times on the trend line. It's like I couldn't have had it any more sort of correct about kind of when to get in and where to get on the humps, and then the follow through it had. Like, literally, this trade follows right through to where it would have been target, and then I could have followed right through and captured the entire move on BM&R, and then would have been just like IBIT. But it didn't happen. And you have to have a short memory when trading. And in the same way that you won't see me, like, I don't overreact and jump up and down on that kind of stuff when you have a big winning trade and all that kind of stuff. The reason why I try to keep that mellow, because then when this happens to me, I don't get tilted. And that's not an easy thing to do. The thing I try to remind myself of, and this is almost always true, as a trader, there's a lot that has to come together for you to make a successful trade. I always remind myself that I had the instrument right, the direction right, and even an entry timing and price area correct. If you have all of those, most days, it's gonna be a win. It's the equivalent of getting up to the plate, hitting a screaming 100-mile-an-hour line drive, and it happens to be directly at the center fielder who doesn't have to move. Most times you hit it that hard to the outfield, it's one hop in the wall, you get a double, maybe you hit a bomb, whatever it is. Sometimes you just hit it on the screws and you get it right at a fielder and there's not much you can do about it. That's gonna be the market sometimes. And that's the thing about thinking about probabilities when you're trading. If you think of it this way, then you understand I can have the right direction, I can get it in good where I think it's almost perfect, and it can still lose. But you don't throw out that concept. Like, I can have, like today I'm down on BM&R and I'm like 0 for 2. But if I actually analyze my trading, there's a lot that I got right out of it. So for me, I look at this and it gives me confidence instead of the other way around. Like, I more have an issue with, like, if I'm sitting there and I'm down on the stock because I was fighting the trend and averaging in and doing all of these bad things, that's one thing. I had the right idea. I just didn't execute perfectly. Maybe you'd need to move the stops. Maybe I had to be better about being on the back end both times. Like, there's a couple of minor things that could be done, but they're tweaks. It's not an overall structural change. And that's my attitude toward trading. I don't get too high on the highs, and it certainly helps me never to be low on the lows and be able to look forward to the next available trade, because that's what the market's all about. And maybe those opportunities are in small cappers, where there just seems like there's unbelievable returns that you're seeing every single day. So good luck, everybody. This is a relatively simple one, and the headlines keep coming in. And again, Adam, thanks for the pizza, man. We appreciate all our viewers, but if you guys keep sending us pizzas, I'm gonna have to step up the cardio or the HIIT training or something. Crazy. Thanks, Adam.
Well,
Be increasing the cardio anyway, Neil.
Regardless, it's summertime, and he's in good shape, man. Neil's in fantastic.
You can always be in better shape,
You can always be in better shape, is right. All right, Shreve, we ready for this? I know you got
As he takes a
bite. Yeah, we're going to
so
do that,
good.
man. We're going to rock and roll on this MTEN, halted. How much, what do we got, a 5 or a 10-minute here?
It's likely going to be, well, we'll see, Joey. 12:06:22. We're still 12:10.
Okay.
Resumption time.
So,
earliest 12:11:22.
Okay, 12:11. All right, so let's get this done, man. Pizza review time. Adam James said, hey, MTEN paying for tomorrow's pizza. Hold on, my friend. We're going to try this one out right now. We're going to do a pizza review. We're doing it live. Everybody knows, one bite knows the rules. How's it go? One bite, you know the rules?
Future, open up inside. World.
I want to give a shout out to whoever sent the pizza for also sending Hawaiian.
That's Neil's favorite, Sia.
What?
That's
Yeah,
Neil's
of course.
favorite.
Of course it's Neil's
I think he's as appreciative as you
everyone
are.
knows it on the show, right?
I'm a crust guy. I always eat my crust first. Been that. Pizza review, one bite, everybody knows the rules. We're going to give it about a 8-1. 8-1. We'll hit that 8-1 on that one.
Joey,
Yeah.
I'm just going to ask a stupid question.
Go ahead, man.
Just, humor me for a second.
Yeah.
What would distinguish it from an 8-0 to an 8-1? Like, how do you draw that line in the sand right there? Because that's a very, very important difference.
See, the thing is, though, Shreve, it's not a fine line. It's very distinct. Now, if I was gonna give this an 8,
Yes.
undercarriage would be a little bit more soft, right? And then there wouldn't be as much fluff within the crust. It'd be drier crust. So that's why we get to that 1/10 of a percentile.
I respect that, man.
That's how we roll, man. Trust me, man. I've got this down to a science. Is it open?
Yes, it is.
Talk about it.
The DGen City is back. M10 open, holding 6, zagging, 52 high. It feels like that's just moments away into 686, and I'm not talking about the old processor after the Pentium. 702 high, limit up, 702. We're gonna halt here. If we hold at 702 for any, I think, 10 seconds or so, still zigging and zagging with that $7 level into 782. 782 limit up, guys. This is it right here, man. It makes my trades look so bad on this, because it's just, I take it out way too early, but what are you going to do with these type of things? 782 limit up, still the same price, hasn't changed. Continuing to watch here. We're looking for 8. Now you know what I'm thinking. We're looking for 10 now, right? So that's going to be the kind of the way we go. Let's see if we can pick this up off a little bit of a dip, possibly into 7 and change. Let's see if this area holds. Nope, didn't get the fill. Tried. It didn't let me in. I should have put a bigger offset. Into 841, Joey. 850, limit up now. That's the whole parameter. Into 850 we go. No hold at that level, though, as the shorts are like, well, they're running scared at the moment. 850 again. Limit up on MTE, and this is crazy. I haven't seen this type of price action in a really long time, especially for multiple names. Like, it's just about a hoo-hoo. 891 limit up now, Joe.
Whoa.
We're moving on onto 10, and I have nothing on here. Come on. Let's see the dips. See if we can dip a little bit here. Try to bottom feed a little bit. 892 limit up, though. It's not giving me an opportunity. Yeah, there's just way too much buying. Way too much buying here at these levels. So I'm going to send it to you so I can actually execute.
Yeah, do it.
Okay.
Juan Padilla, that's absolutely insane. Brother, hey, man, we running everything. We did everything. Yeah,
geez.
got a 6-pack, my guy.
What are you talking about?
Me.
Oh, yeah. It's Joey's ripped, bro. He watches what he eats. You
I
see him, like, every now and again, he'll
have a little,
around,
we dabble up in there. I'm not as strict as Shreve. Shreve's on his regime. He's got that locked in for sure, man. Every day, all day.
Every day.
All right, guys, let's see what we got going on here. $200. We talked about that excuse me, on NVDA.
That trade.
It's only a matter of time. I wouldn't be surprised if we see it by the end of the week. Let's head over to our options chain and see if there's going to be any. Oh, this is what I wanted us to actually bring up, and I was talking about it this morning. I believe it was on the 18th expiration cycle. First, we'll look at this to see what we have from an OI standpoint on the put side, that is, right? Like you can see there's a lot of upward pressure. But where are we going to find the bottom? 170 bucks. I don't think that's necessarily going to be the case. But let's head over to the 18th before we get into this super chat and see if there's anything substantial. 190, I think, is reasonable. This can be absorbed. 200, there is some size, which we're heading to right now. We're down another 3%. So we are on Friday, we were down 6%. You happen to close immediately 1.25, we'll take it. But then now you're down 3.25 at this point. So now we want to look for that potential floor. And I wouldn't be surprised by the 18th if we see $190. All right. And if that's the case, I buy a little bit more. Now, heading over to our super chat. Greetings from Orlando, Florida. Guys are doing fantastic. Love the energy. Appreciate it. Is it caffeine induced? I think there's a little bit to do with that. Other than that, it's just how we naturally are, I believe, at sometimes.
I think, you know, if they're asking that, then I don't think they've watched the show.
They haven't watched the show.
They haven't. We're always yelling.
And yesterday, I mean, I just started yelling maybe a little bit more. The fact that I was trading some small cap. But no, in all seriousness, guys, like, listen, this is the market. We're gonna have some fun doing it. We understand that sitting at home, it can get lonely. So that's why you come and join us. Thank you for hitting the like and subscribe. Next time I look, I do want to make sure that we have 1,000 likes. If not, then it's over.
We're
going to be looking at the Nasdaq. Now, I wanted to pull up a bunch of open interests. I forget which expiration cycle it was on. Could be this week. But as you head down on the put side, hundreds of thousands of open contracts. Now, I'm going to look out for them, and when I do find them, I'll let you guys know, but that's pretty telling, especially we typically do see a little bit more activity on the put side of things, but the way that I seen it is just through like $5 increments, every $5, which it typically is. It was just 120,000, 150,000. I couldn't believe my eyes. I'm like, wow, I haven't seen that much activity on the put side in the Nasdaq in quite some time. So it was really cool to see. Now,
what?
Birdman.
What happened to that boy?
Yeah, exactly. How do I gain access to Halt parameters? Currently in heavy on HTCL. I'm looking for $6, but I'll settle for 5. All right, man.
How do I gain access to Halt parameters? Okay, well, I can only answer that on our platform. Just 1 second, Assassino, we'll send it up. So what we had here on the floor, if I can show the level 2, if possible, please. This over here. So what the great people in the software design section of the company were able to do was they were able to tap into the Halt parameter bands. So on here, you'll always see, if it's on my screen, you'll always see a red rectangle on one side of the level 2 or the other. So if we're heading down, look to the left side of the level 2, which will be over here, and you'll see a red line right there, and that will be the limit down price. On the right side, the contrapositive is the same. Limit up will be over here. The thing about that is those prices change, right? Because there's a timer that's initiated for how long it stays at that price. If the timer elapses and then a new timer starts, you're going to get the limit up moving up. So that's why sometimes you hear me like 952, limit up, 952, limit up. Then immediately after that, maybe 10 or 15 seconds, if we stay at that level for a bit, it'll be a little bit higher. It'll be like, oh, 1015 limit up, 1015 limit up. The same thing for the way down. Now, I don't know what program you're using, so I don't know if they offer that. But if you're with us on the stream and you're watching my screen, keep an eye out on that. You're going to see the red bands right there. Anything you have before?
No, I was going to ask you, how did you give us a quick example of how you would set that up here? I'm asking for a friend. How do you put the Halt bands on there?
Oh my God! All right, let's. All
right, yeah, let's go over there and then we'll do it for Joe's friend.
The IWM down by 1.5% at the moment. Let's take a look at a couple individual tickers. AAOI down 14.5% almost. Senior VP of the company has sold almost 3 million worth of shares. The momentum is continuing. NUVL up almost 40% on the day. Now, the company has announced an agreement with GlaxoSmithKline GSK, which is a British pharmaceutical company, who will be buying the company for $10.6 billion. This offer for Nuvalent is at $124 per share in cash. Then we have ODC up 15% for a record third quarter report, with the company's sales up 9% year over year. That's your individual tickers and your small cap. Sending it back to you.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Again, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer or a negative Nancy over here. Just going to call it for what it is, in my opinion. So at this point, May something, let's see what we have going on here. May 7th, 1 second, all the way to June. So we'll call it a month, right? 20 trading days, gone in 3. Be patient, wait for those levels to come in. I mean, I'm not really one to talk. When I did this, we decided to punch in on NASA right at the highs. And then now we're gonna get it at a big time discount. Nothing crazy, I told you, like a 0.5%. We grabbed some up here of our account, and then now it's at $30. As soon as I seen this, I knew I was in a little bit of trouble. Let's send things off to Adara. We'll get back into the market.
Information Administration here, EIA, commenting on, you guessed it, energy. Interesting comments here saying that they believe the OECD oil inventories could hit their lowest levels since 2003. So oil inventories concerned, USO bouncing a little bit here off of these session lows. Again, keep an eye on oil, guys. Back to you.
Stuff, yeah. So 30 days to the top side, 3 days down, and you just engulf that there. That's a really good question, or a good point. We'll pop that up right now just to see how everything's looking. I do believe Marvell's holding up relatively well. MRVL, let's see how it is. Yeah, I mean, not getting hit as heavy, but I mean, $324 down to $246, so almost $100 off the high. The Qs are just getting shellacked here. And same thing with NVDA. I talked about 200 coming in here momentarily. All right, Nicole, what's going on? Now my $12 up, 275. Hopefully got in when I shut it out. 108 SPY, 727 calls. Now 311. Nice to rock and roll. That's what I'm talking about. A couple hundred percentage points, just like that. And congratulations to you, Nicole. You know what I say, right? Don't spend it all in one place, and make sure you save enough for the next trade. Bank a little, invest it, and then use some for trading. Now let's head over to the actual tracker and see how everybody's been performing after a couple of really weak sessions here. Oh, okay. I mean, we'll take it, man. I don't think it's really changed too much here, ladies and gentlemen. So there it is. Your boy's still sitting. We're still sitting in that third spot right now. Just the balance is what's really helping us. 10.4%. I mean, we're closer to 20 at one point. Katina, man, up over 100%, now down to 55. And then we have Randall over here. I don't think, is Randy here? Randy, he won't tell me his actual name, so I'll just call him Randall. That's my cousin's name. I like that one. And there it is. He's at 4%. Who's at the bottom of the barrel right now? It's Fabian, down 22%, my guy. What's going on? And then Mateo down 19%. Neil sitting in one of, I mean, hey, man, 13% to the downside, 14%, but people getting slacked. Dara just slightly positive, about 0.1% there, guys. And Ramin can go from like 6th to 2nd in the span of a couple of days, obviously, heavily revolving around some of the safe plays. And then we have Sharif there. I almost called you Sheriff, down 9.6%. And then Brendo down 11%.
You call me Sheriff, bro. People have been calling me Sheriff for a hot minute.
Yeah, people have been calling you Sheriff?
Oh, yeah. PAVS is open. I don't even know why I care. It's trading it into VWAP here. PAVS is, ooh.
Once it's south of VWAP, bro, isn't it? It's just done.
Yeah, Joey. VWAP around 6.5, 6 1/3. Trying to hold 9.5. AZI. Shout out to Fluffy. Fluffy, I was gonna message you. I was gonna respond to you, Fluffy, but might as well just speak to you on camera over here. I'm liking AZI. KC526 was also calling AZI, as well as a lot of other people as well. 653 high. We did breach that double top that we put in at 940 and 945. Bottom right of your screen, I'm talking about this area right here. So a technical breach has already ensued, but we're about $1 below that high right now. Trying to hold on to the volume weighted average price. Guys, I don't think my regular analysis for these small caps really holds water in this environment. Let me just make my case. AZI would be a name that I would stay the hell away from. I hate these ones that come from south of VWAP, only to reject at the volume-weighted average price. I don't think that that holds true in this current small cap environment. I've seen these ones recover from CGTL, one of them, many different ones yesterday, all came from south of VWAP, only to, breach pre-market highs, intraday highs, and just rocket ship. And here comes AZI again, right off that 6.5. Now looking back at that 650, I just saw a flash, a limit up. Couldn't quite see what it was there, but that's what I wanted to stress here. So I may take trades that I typically don't take just because the environment's a little bit different right now with these small caps. Again, that was just another move into 6.5 there, but again, it rejects. So looking for continuation through 6.5, then I think if we get that, we're just looking at 7. And then if you know my bias, if we go through 7, I'm automatically thinking 10. How it gets there and how quickly, I think reasonable people can disagree, but keep an eye on that. MTN halted down. We're gonna go back up to the big desk.
Keep an eye here on FOUR. This is Shift for Payments. Michael Burry announcing via his Substack that he's considering getting involved in a position at these levels. As you can see, bit of a bounce off of lows, not massive volume here, only about 500,000 shares traded on the day thus far for FOUR. Back to you.
Joey.
Yes, sir.
I gotta shout somebody out.
Shout him out.
VinFast.
Oh.
Huge shout out to VinFast for sponsoring today's video. They just announced a massive partnership with AutoBrains and Nvidia to bring level 4, Joey, agentic AI, autonomous driving, to real life. We are talking about next-gen intelligent tech that is completely redefining how we hit the road. If you want to see what the actual future of driving looks like, then you need to click the link in the description of this video. Check out VinFast today. Shout out to the good folks there at VinFast. Shout out to Fluffy. Where the money is. It's coming, Fluffy. Don't worry. I don't know if you just got here. I didn't see you in the chat earlier, but we've been printing, and there goes AZI through the high of the day. Limit up is 712. Watching 721, excuse me, Joey. 721 limit up on AZI. Have we cleared $6 and the volume weighted average price by a sufficient amount of distance here to take this one? What do we got on this? Can't see the position board. We got 88s. I'm going to look to defend into this area. So let's see what we kind of get. Down into the $0.5 we go. Aggressive buying right off that $0.5 and right back up. We go into $0.75, Joey, but there's no continuation as of the moment into 7. So we're going to pack the patience here, look for a bigger move into 7, but I am going to be a buyer off $6. What do you got?
All right, good stuff, man. Rock and roll on that one. Ramin, it's on the website.
Get it, Ram.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, what did Joe say about me?
Oh, don't worry.
And then MF Dean just reminded me, it's on the website. It's on the website, baby. Half cash.
Tell her to do her own homework.
Half cash, half stock. All right, man. Let's rock and roll.
Those are fighting words, Joey.
It is?
No.
Half cash, half stock. I didn't think so, man. All right, let's see what we got going on, man.
I love you, bro. You're good vibe, man.
It feels like I don't know. It feels like Friday. It's only Tuesday.
Friday again.
Oh, be careful, says Ramin.
Ram's talking.
She's going to shut it down. Yeah, she has the power to do so. So watch out. Hold on. We're going to go back and see how many individuals we hit on the like side of things.
What happened?
I don't know, man. You're trading.
I got stopped out, Joey.
Oh, did you? That's all right, man. Get right back in. Yeah. 6.2 thousand people asking what's going on with the market, but we have 1,100 likes. Bye, Felicia, says Trigger Trades. What's going on, everybody? Always, says Mike Peter Ryder. Hey, I thought you were supposed to be on the ocean. All right, guys, let's get right back into this market and see how hard everything is kind of getting hit this morning. Now, we have Nokia down 8%. Yeah. Listen, the inverse, triple Qs, right? Up 10%. That's a little bit tougher of a look as the Nasdaq down another 3% here, guys. Excuse me, NVDA down 3.6%, but Intel taking a pretty bad beating right now, guys, down 7.8%. SoxL down 20. That's some of these leverage plays, but Marvell down 13%. So a name that was just continuously, big time, Sharif. So a name that is like you would wake up and just rub your eyes and be like, oh, hey, yeah, another 10, 12% in Marvell. Right. Now you're getting the inverse of that, Sharif. This is typically how it happens, man. What goes up must come down. You have some MVRL. You can see, we can take a look at this from a 5-minute. MRV, what am I talking about? Straight to the downside, 304 to 250, so you're losing 50 bucks just like that here today, guys. It's been a fantastic one. We're entering the gap. So, I mean, if you get the majority of this filled, I think that's a good time to start grabbing a little bit. I don't think that this bull market is done whatsoever. Go ask your boy Tom Lee, Sharif. He thinks it's another buy the dip scenario. I happen to agree, but what happened, he's not really talking too much about BMNRs. BMNR is continuously getting slacked. I know Neo was trading this morning, but now a new yearly low, 1576 in BMNR. Absolute disaster. And I haven't even looked at Bitcoin here today. What is Bitcoin? Still holding up, but watch out for some more downside. I mean, we were talking about this a while ago, how this was giving me this vibes up in here. And then we just never had that session that it was like, hey, we're up 7, 8, and even close to 10%. And then eventually, as soon as the trend line was breached, to the downside we go, and we just drop a substantial amount from $34 all the way down to, or sorry, from $46, 47, we'll call it flat, to 34. And now we're definitely down more than 50% off of the all-time high. Katina Man back in the house. He's on the telly. Rocking and rolling, probably has baseball or something there tonight. And then
He's talking about baseball.
52% to the downside off of the highs there in Bitcoin. Let's see if Michael Saylor is going to continue to grab some more. I know he did the other day to the tune of another 1,100 BTC after he sold 32. So sell 32, buy 1,100. That's what I'm talking about.
Crazy.
Talk about conviction, Sharif.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, we gave back here some on AZI. I tried to take this one north through 7, so we'll give back a little bit there. Zigging and Zag. Look, it's holding VWAP, so I'm going to maintain this one on the side chart, but it just kept breaching prior bar low, so there's really nothing I could do about that. I have to stop out at technical areas. But AZI not treating me as well, I should say, as some of the other ones. Now, keep in mind that MTEN is still, halted down at 712, but it's still above the 10, it's still above VWAP, and most notably, it's still above that $7 area. So give this one a gander as well. Now, I'm gonna leave AZI on the side chart because I feel like if this one does take out 7, like I was trying to bottom pick here, but not at the right areas. I tried to pick up a lot off 6, but it looked like 5.5 was the area of support, and here it is back above 6. So let this clear 7. Let's let it get into that crazy halt perimeter thing that we've been seeing a lot with these small caps, and then we'll sort of ride it there. But I don't have the current read right now, the way that I see it on AZI at the right level. So let's let this one set up. Nothing else really going on here. It looks like they've cooled down for the moment, I should say. Oh, hold on. Check that. There's another one. Let's get right down to work here. So we have VSME halted up. Who are we going to take off? HAMA, even though this one is a multiple halter. If it gets going, then we'll put it back. VSME, let's throw this one on there. Charts are a little bit, upset today. Yeah, exactly, Assassino, but we're going to have to pack the patience over here. Yeah, it is too, isn't it, Fluffy? It looks like it's bothering Fluffy as well. I'm talking about AZI. And this chart is bothering me right now. Hurry up, chart. Even Casey's calling out VSME. It's halted up at $1.30. Let me just bring in this chart over here since this one is basically moving. 130 limit up on VSME. What I haven't seen is the exact halt time. Oh, hello.
Yeah, we're gonna hold on, man. This is what I'm talking about.
I'm putting on the pie. I'm putting on the Hawaiian pizza.
Hold on, time out. I've already done the pizza review here.
I'm a big fan of the Hawaiian pizza.
Whoa.
I'm listening.
Your mic's off.
It's not off.
Oh, it's awful. So with this mic issue,
let's
get this rock.
It's awful, yeah.
Just give us a number. Let me try this mic. We
Yeah,
try this mic over there.
Mic. All I need is one mic.
We're getting a pizza review number 2 here. I'm not going to tell you what I gave it. It's definitely not on.
Assassino, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's all right.
Should we throw it up?
Let's throw it over to Adair. We'll get this sorted out.
It's muted, Katina.
Yeah, we'll get this sorted out. We'll go over to Adair.
Now it's good. Now it's
good.
good.
We're live now.
I didn't do anything.
Good.
All right, man.
Okay, so here we go. Okay, so what do you want me to do, Joe?
This is a pizza review. I gave mine already.
Like I need a Portnoy review?
Yeah, of course. One bite, everybody knows the rules. Okay.
Is it good?
It's actually a really good cheese.
Yeah, talk us through it.
The cheese is nice.
Pizza?
Trying the
You like
pineapple.
pineapple pizza?
Of course, I love pineapple pizza.
John,
What
give
do
me
you think?
a fist bump
Come on.
right now.
I mean, I'm a true Italian. Of course, I love pineapple pizza.
Okay.
Okay, so.
You just shafted her. She wants to fist bump you, Katina.
That's crazy.
Oh, man.
Oh, I didn't hear that. My bad. I'm trying to analyze the pizza over here. Yeah, so I like the cheese. I actually think the crust is pretty good. You mean it's a foldable crust, right? So it's nice and easy going. Not too much sauce on here. Could go for a little bit more, but I'm not a huge sauce fan.
Okay.
Not a huge sauce
I agree
fan.
with that.
Yeah.
Makes a mess.
One bite?
You know what he gave it?
No.
8.1.
No!
Oh,
what
bad,
I
my
said.
bad. My bad.
I was gonna go 7-3. I'm gonna go 7-3.
The 7-3, that's fine.
Very, very strong.
And to
Who
be
sent
honest,
this, by the way?
Adam
James.
Thank you so much.
I'm the
Much
thing.
appreciated.
As always,
There's 3
dude,
over there.
I
There's-
actually gave it an upgrade too from 8.1 to 8.5.
It's good. The cheese
Yeah,
is
yeah,
really
yeah, it's
tasty on
good.
there, and I think it's not overwhelming
crazy.
the pineapple pizza style. Sorry about that, Sia. Most people hate on pineapple pizza.
Yeah,
No,
bro.
exactly.
I think
She said it
people-
was her favorite.
Right. You know what
It's
I
my
like? With
favorite
it on
pizza.
a little jalapeno if we got
Okay,
a
that's
little.
I would be- I would
Jalapeno,
be-
a
Little bit
little
of
bit
spice.
of
Listen,
pancetta.
this is my take though, all right?
I wanna have
Like,
another- I wanna
there's a
have another bite.
reason that why when you go to the pizza store after the bar or the nightclub
Right.
that the pineapple pizza is the last slices there.
Okay, Joe.
Oh, no, it's not.
Okay,
There's a
Joe.
reason. Am I
This is
not
not-
right?
this
It's
would not be my
always the
first choice.
This is always the
it's not a
pineapple
first choice,
pizza.
What is your
there.
first choice, though, if we could ask?
I like a little soppressata, put a little bit of olive, like some black olives on there.
That's Italian. That's real Italian
yeah,
right there.
and I
yeah.
actually prefer if you have like a pesto or just olive oil, something like that.
Oh, yes,
like any
just the
anchovies,
drizzle.
Katina, man?
I'm not a huge anchovy guy,
No,
but I don't
yeah,
mind it.
likewise, yeah.
If you have like grilled onions, like
Yeah.
then
Sautéed
it's kind
there,
of
though,
sautéed.
sautéed.
Yeah,
There
that's
we
when it-
go. Now he's
that's kinda
talking
when it's game
connoisseur
over at
stuff
that
right
point.
there,
Yeah,
man.
so I like the black olives
Love it.
on a pizza. So, all right. Sorry
Wow,
to
if
interrupt.
someone said this review is not.
All right, wait, let's not
this is
forget we gotta
official.
go to Adair,
We do,
Joey.
but this
Yeah.
is as official as it gets. May as well be wearing a referee jersey. Adair, what do you have?
I have here is I just want to quickly review. I'm seeing a lot of people in the chat ask, why is the market dropping? Now, obviously, we don't always have a reason for why everything's happening. There's obviously a lot of tech weakness, but I did want to take a moment to take some deep breaths and go over everything for all of you guys. Here is the market. As you can see, this is just a stair step to the downside, pretty much off of that intraday high. That was 726 for the Nasdaq. Currently here around 793. So if you take a look at the S&P 500, similar looking chart. Now, why is this happening? I mean, you've got a lot of uncertainty still here surrounding what's going to happen in the Middle East. But interestingly enough, USO isn't up either. Oil's also down. So interesting look at both oil to the downside and these major market averages to the downside. U.S. Energy Secretary Chris Wright saying that Hormuz ship traffic is increasing, which would lead to, I guess, some lessening of concerns in the oil space. That's certainly going to be on watch again. Also, AAPL very likely dragging tech to the downside. This is its second straight day of selling off after that WWDC event yesterday, which, as I've discussed multiple times now, that's generally speaking a sell the news event for Apple, but it's also clearly looking like a sell the news event for the market. Let's take a look as well here at the CME FedWatch tool, guys. We are still seeing chances of a rate hold. Very unlikely that we'll get a cut at that June 17th meeting in 8 days. And still, if anything, chances of a hike looking forward. So some contributing factors to be aware of when it comes to what's happening in the market today. In the meantime, we're going to take a look with Sia at some of these sectors.
Taking a look at the sector, the SPY currently downside almost 1.5%. Overall, tech is pretty weak today. MU performing bad, bleeding despite of that upgrade it received. Nvidia in the red, 3.5%. Apple, we're going to take a deeper look in the 1 p.m. news segment, but it is down 4% after the WWDC and Apple unveiling the Siri AI. Shares are sliding. Tech services, we have Google and Microsoft also in the red. Google, the company, has released Gemini 3.5 Live Translate, which is its latest audio model for live speech-to-speech translation. Finance is looking good overall. However, Hood is sliding towards 5%. Retail, Amazon in the red with TJX and Home Depot on the up. Consumer durables, we have Tesla bleeding almost 5%. Its FSD has gotten a green light in Denmark. And health tech also looking pretty good. Lilly trading flat. Non-durables painted green as well. Little bleeding with the producer manufacturing sector. And that's all for your sector.
That's not
App on MTN, Adam, it's moving up into 4 now. MTEN moving up into 4. So I was giving you 385. That's no longer correct. Always here, guys. And the beautiful thing is about YouTube, you can zoom, right? So right there, you're gonna see that TAP, theoretical auction price. If it's on my screen, you can take a look there. Shout out to my man, Bovin. Bovin is finally in the house. So Bovin is here to save us all. I made some big...
Sorry, brother. Yeah, sorry, man. There's something going on in the market right now. Apple, we're going to get it momentarily. Yeah. So here's Apple, big volume spike right now, guys, on the 1 minute time frame. Expect that to increase, even though we only have 30 seconds left. But you've seen the fluctuation here on the Nasdaq and on the SPY and across some of these larger cap names. But Apple has the most volume stepping in right now as we really are starting to pick it up here. We're going to send things off to Adara as the market continues to slide here, guys. We're down bigly. We're going to go over percentages and see Middle East knows. Let's see what we got going on with Adara.
I have a feeling there could be another headline here because this post was already out for a couple of minutes before we got the spike in oil and the drop in the market. Nonetheless, here's what I have for now. If that changes, I'll keep you updated. We have an individual by the name of MP Ghalibaf, who is the parliamentary speaker of Iran, an account attributed to him on X, posting here saying, quote, "We prefer the language of diplomacy, but we speak other languages far more fluently. But break your commitments and we'll switch to what we speak best. You ride the horse you saddled." So some comments here coming from that situation. Also, President Trump speaking on Iran. Keep an eye here. USO on watch. President Trump saying on Iran, quote, "The United States must, of necessity, respond to this attack on the helicopter." He is posting here on True Social, guys. Here is the post, quote, "I have just been informed by our great military that last night the Iranians shot down one of our highly sophisticated Apache helicopters while patrolling over the Strait of Hormuz. There were 2 pilots involved. Both are safe and uninjured. Nevertheless, the United States must respond to this attack." So more escalation from, looks like, both Iran and the U.S. right now. Back to you.
Yeah, that's the important headline there. Obviously, the drop of the Apache. Hope those pilots are safe. And, you know, obviously their families must be worried about them. So hopefully that is all good there. One must wonder, this was probably a destroyer-based or a carrier-based Apache, right? Otherwise, what was it doing over the Strait? Well, who knows? It could be coming from Kuwait or something. Yeah, tough one there as the market will take a bigger dive, especially the Nasdaq, really getting hit now. Nobody's being spared. Nope. We said the Dow was down half, the IWM was only down half. Well, guess what? The IWM now is down 2. The SPY is down 2. The Qs are down 4, and the Dow is absolutely getting rocked, down also 1%. And my charts are also getting rocked because they're not loading up anything. Small caps, ETFs, it doesn't really matter. My charts are freaking out. I'm assuming there's a lot of demand on these charts right now as a lot of people are probably checking their portfolios, wondering why that they're getting rinsed.
Well, look at this, Sharif. On my watch list, the only green thing here is the VIX. As the VIX is up to $21, up 15%. There is not a single green name with the exception of DraftKings. Shout out to DraftKings holding down the fort right now, Katina, man. As we have Verizon, the telecom's looking pretty strong. Oh, also,
Katina, man, I love it. But poor guy trying to have his food, bro.
23%.
He's just here to eat, man.
Listen, man, he's the same way, brother. He's like, listen, I don't even know how many stocks I have on there. 70 down, 5 up. That's what I'm talking about. That's the type of ratio. I'm being highly sarcastic. But don't get it twisted. It's an absolute disaster. The VIX, watch out for this, though, guys, because there's going to be a play here, and we talk about it time and time again. You don't want to anticipate the increase in volatility, but you want to play the decay in volatility, all right? So let's allow this to cool out. Let's allow the market to continue its bleed as we're down 2% here in the SPY. Sharif just mentioned 4% down on the Nasdaq. And need I go over some of the names? 4 1/4 on NVDA. 4 1/3 here roughly on Apple. 1.5 on Google. Microsoft down 3%. Tesla down almost 6%. We have Broadcom down 6%. Meta down 0.6. AMD down 10%. All right? Like, look at this big time run. Oh, okay, move to AC Slater. Who's ever buying this up here? Have a great time. You're officially about to hit bear market territory in 1/10%. Down 20% off the highs. Now, are we going to classify it as that? But are we looking at it as a potential discount? I would wait for some more selling. There's a couple more gaps that need to get filled. Adam James is saying 180 smackers on AMD. I don't know if that's necessarily going to be the case because that's a 67% drawdown, and the sky will probably be falling for a lot of accounts at that point, guys. So just be patient. We even have Netflix down 1.25 and Qualcomm down 10%.
10%.
Need I go on at this point?
Delisted.
Listen, Rigetti, 14% delisted right away. Right away, it's done. It's not that funny because a lot of people are losing money, but it's also funny
Brother,
because
but this is the market, though. It's the escalator up. It's the elevator down. People always will react emotionally.
It is out the window.
How many times? Bro, you lived through the tariff tantrum.
Yeah, escalator is generous.
Through the initiation of the Iran war.
Escalator is generous because they're pretty quick. Actually, no, I think you can go upstairs. Yeah. Escalator. You can go up. You can go faster on the stairs. But anyways, it's out the window, right? Like, look at the engulfing prints that we've seen over the past couple of days. As soon as I seen that, and we'll go over some examples from before, when you have this massive session that engulfs half of a month of positive trading, watch out for a little bit more downside. Need us go through some more examples? All right, let's do it because we have the time, and we may as well look and go back in history to look for the exact same signals that can give us a little bit of a warning. Are you gonna get out at the best price? Absolutely not.
Where's Big Spile, man? We need Big Spile immediately.
No, man, I'm not in the mood today.
We need him because this is where he shines, bro. He constantly takes puts.
Yeah, I understand that, but he's gonna come in hot with this crazy super chat, talking pure smack, and he's gonna be like, yeah, exactly. So it's just like, man, get this guy out of here for a little bit. He's gonna show up momentarily. Oh, hit the bat signal for us.
I don't have
the weed
it.
Batman for us, Katina man. The weed bat bang. So when we talk about Big Smile, he hears it. It's like we put the bat signal out, the smile signal, and then sure enough, the guy's gonna show up momentarily. Yeah. It's only a matter of time. I give it a couple of minutes. But SanDisk is only down 4.75%. Dell has actually hit 10%. But there's a lot of names down double digits here.
Come on, Byron.
What did Byron say?
I don't think Byron's a big fan of Big Spot.
Why? Because he's my boy, man.
Gonna, like that kind of humor, but it's fine there. Shout out to my man. Look, Atticus Rex. I don't mean to laugh at you, brother. I mean, my portfolio is getting rinsed too. Like, I've got a lot of long-term names that are all taking a bath today.
Yeah.
But, if you've been in the market a while, you kind of know that this is part and parcel of being involved. So, it comes with the good and the bad. And I don't mean to laugh at you, brother. That's not what I mean at all.
Easily.
Bovin, Easy Go is moving. Bovin says we take a look. Now, I got to warn you guys, my charts are super finicky today, so it's going to be hit and miss over here. Easy. I know, Assassino, but what can we do, brother? Look, it's already being a little, bad word. Why are you timing him out?
Because he's talking to me.
No, you gotta stop timing him out.
He's my boy. 60 seconds, man. That's it. That's it. Time out. You gotta keep them in check, man. 60 seconds.
Geo. Here we go. This guy, bro, bullying everybody. Up into 248 there, Bovin. Back into 2. Good support here between 190 to 2 on EasyGO. Look, it's up a respectable 42%. Let's see how the technicals jive here. I'd love a holding a 2, knowing full well that the volatility is what it is today, and as a result, it could get a breach of that level, right? So let's continue to watch. As I mentioned, this one is spready, though, for a small stock like this, 24 in the bid, 18 on the ask. So watch out here to get cut up, showing a 25 seller currently on EasyGO. Can we take out the 25 seller, at least on the bid? The answer is no. We did momentarily on the ask. No continuity, though, through the quarter dollar on both sides of the level 2. That's what I'm looking for there. I want to see if we can mosey on up, take that level out, and then maybe we can give this one the old community college try into the $0.50. Below the $2 area, I will stop out. I won't have my stop right below the $2 area for the reasons I articulated earlier. It's too volatile of a day to have that. Continue to watch here on the level 2, on the bid side for a move above the quarter dollar. That hasn't come. There it is. Looking for continuation. Boom. Into 40. Looking for more. Looking for that $0.50. Here it comes again into the high. What do we got? 31s on here. I need this to hold the $0.50. Into the 32 we go. We take it out, break even here. Let's see if we can get back in. If it holds a third of a dollar, I'll get back in for that $0.50 move. Let's watch here. No, failing right back into that quarter dollar. Let's see if the quarter dollar holds. And it's not even holding. Good out. Perfect out there. See ya.
The pound was at its lowest level yesterday. Today, it has risen against the dollar, hit a 2-week high versus the euro, as risk appetite seems to be a little bit improved. U.S. currency eased on hopes of the Middle East peace deal. We'll talk about it. Shares of Indian banks also have gained after India's central bank extended a subsidized forex swap facility to overseas foreign currency borrowings by certain lenders. There's also certain weakness in the yen, expected hawkish shift as well for the Federal Reserve after jobs report in the U.S. is expected to add certain pressure on the Bank of Japan to accelerate certain interest rate increases. Ultimately, we have the dollar easing on the Israel-Iran truce, but the USD tends to weaken against the euro and yen when the tensions are in the Middle East, as the tensions in the Middle East do ease. But prospects for a peace deal can also dampen oil prices, as we do know oil is not doing the best today. That's all for Money Talk. Sending it back to you.
There goes Easy Geo. We took the third of $1 again, and here comes limit up into 269. Looked for the regain of the quarter dollar, got right back in. 276 limit up here. Easy Geo. So false halt back and down into 75. Still the same limit up at 76, ascending right back into that level. Looking for another move here on Easy Geo. Big move up. Shut it to KC 526. We made a joke in the chat. Easy come. Easy go, right? I don't know if this is easy come, though, Case. This comes with some stress here. Still 276 limit up, showing that initiation of the halt perimeter again, but dropping right back off that level. So continue to watch this 285 limit up now. Easy Geo. We're moving on up. We're moving on up. Let's see if we can kind of get to $3 here, Joey. 286 limit up. Halt perimeter initiated again, down into 85. So this one's stair-stepping up, initiating halt parameters every time, but the timer continues to run. So this feels like, you know, it's being kind of kept active artificially.
Oh, man, YK Chicago. That's pretty aggressive,
294 limit
man.
up now. What's up?
No, YK Chicago coming at it, man. No, you can figure it out for yourself. He didn't tell you to press any form of button, man, and you got to be prepared. We talk about it time and time again.
You got rinsed?
That you have to, yeah, probably.
Sorry, bro.
Yeah, I know, man. He's sorry. Like, listen, you got to understand, and you shouldn't be going, like, pedal to the metal and pedal to the floor on these things.
Oh,
you have to,
sorry, YK Chicago. I apologize, brother.
Yeah,
but,
man.
you know, you got to be a little bit,
no, hold on.
have good risk management.
Yeah, you do.
We're constantly saying.
Exactly, and you got to hold yourself accountable as well, too. You can't just be pointing the finger and blaming someone else. Otherwise, I'd be blaming Sharif right now, too.
Katina, man, why is everyone coming on me today, bro? What did I do, man? Like, the only thing moving up are small caps, too, by the way.
So, YK, you're good, man. Just take a breather, touch grass. Jesse, you know we over here. I'll hit this for my boy. Oh, I don't even have it, but I'll hit this for my boy, Jesse. He's kind of mad at me right now. Put him on a 60-seconder. I'll hit the Stone Cold. I don't have the bruh. Sorry about that.
Yo, friends don't time out other friends.
Yeah, they do.
Right? No.
Yeah. Friends time out other friends when they step out of line, man.
Yeah.
Listen, you know, remember what I said the other day, Sheree?
What'd you say, Joey?
I'm like, I forget what I said.
This is the sickest show. You even have Assassino laughing up the store.
No, what I said the other day was weak men want to hear lies, real men want to hear the truth. Man, we mad cool. Yeah, so don't worry about that.
That's
hey,
facts
man,
right there, man.
Hey, yeah. Let's head back over to this bloodbath.
See Donald get booed yesterday?
Yeah.
Funny. He didn't care at all.
No, he didn't care. Why would he care?
You see Kai Trump behind him? She smirked as soon as they started booing.
Yeah. Oh,
she knew they were going to boo him, right?
I've seen Kai.
Bro. New York will boo the Pope, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, they'll boo the Pope.
Bro, these guys are rioting after game 3 or 4. What do you got, Katina, man?
What's going on over there, Katina, man?
Put it in the chat. All right, man. You're starting to Google long here. Good luck to that one, my friend. Let's head back over to this absolute, what is it? Shout out to all my Game of Thrones fans. The Red Wedding out here. As we have the XLK down 5.6%. NVDA finding a little bit of its footing, down 3.8%. So let's see if we can get a bounce. That $200 marker holding up for us here, guys. But Coinbase, 7% to the downside. MSTR down almost double digits at 10%, and then BMNR down 7.6. We can continue. We have Robinhood. Hey man, this whole
I'm not going to sell it.
fire.
I'm just not going to sell it.
Sell what?
I'll take it to zero.
What's that?
BMNR. I'll let it go to zero.
Are you going to add more?
No.
Why?
Don't. There's no technical reason to add.
Okay.
But I'm just too stubborn to sell it.
All right, all right. I mean, yeah. Hey man, I mean, you're not the captain of it, so you don't necessarily have to go down with the ship.
I know, but like
you're loyal. You're a loyal
the thing
dog.
is, like, if ETH starts ripping again,
yeah, and then you're gonna be.
I'm gonna smash screens. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing, right?
So the money that you made back, you'll have to buy new screens. Yeah, so you're just relatively flat after all of that. 1554, you want to, I felt like you're ready to go there, Sharif. No, it's absolutely disastrous here in Ethereum. What a great show, guys. If you can hit the like and subscribe, this is a good one. As bad as it is, we have to make light. I'll say something. So me and Jose were joking in the back. I could tell when Jose, he gets frustrated like me, like he's pissed.
That's rare, though.
Right? No, I know Jose. Like when things are, anyways, I'm like, yeah, man, same thing happened to me, and he's mad, right? And I just start laughing and like going hard, and then he could, you know, when someone's like, you're so mad, but then your friend starts laughing, that you start laughing. Yeah, you started laughing as well too, because it sucks, man.
A little comedic
and that's
relief,
how it is.
bro.
It's not always like that, because when people's accounts are really getting hit, it kind of sucks, like right now. So it's just best not to look. So close your eyes and do this, and then hopefully that tomorrow the market gaps up a couple of percentage points, and that could give you a good opportunity to get out.
Well said, Joey. Well said, man. So let's take a quick look here. Back into EZGO, looking for a 3 breach. There is a big seller here in the mid to low 80s, looking for the $0.5 hold. We're moving on up there. It goes, taking out all my orders in the high. 322 limit up. We're in the limit right now. There it is, 322 limit. Man, I can all these ones coming a mile away. 322 limit up here. It's not holding the limit. So let's see if it comes back down into 3. Comes back down into 3, we're buying. And then we'll stop out below 288. But it's continuing to trade near the highs at 322. So I don't want to get involved at the highs, lest it gap down during the halt. Who needs that, right? So continuing to watch here. Seller at 19, seller at 20. Can't quite make it back up. 330 limit up now. 330 limit up, so it continues to ascend. And we've talked about this. Why does this happen? Because the timer resets after the allotted time for the halt parameter has elapsed, right? So and we don't have the timer. That's the thing. We just have the limit up and limit down. But you guys see that red rectangle? That's what I'm talking about. So LULD means limit up, limit down. So you're going to see that on both sides of the level 2. When we come to limit down, you'll see it on the left side. Currently, it's on the right side because limit up. 337 now, limit up. Now we could get a bump here because the new timer is engaged. Let's see if we hold 3, Joey. We're bleeding our own blood down into the 3 single digits now. Here comes 3. There goes 3. And down goes Fraser through 3. Reclaims it pretty quickly, though. But only 10 million shares traded so far on EZGO. So it's kind of a trade de novo at the moment. 3 is holding here, Joey. 288 could be an out. You know, to whatever 2 mid-80s in and around that level. Current bar low, by the way, on EZGO, just to give you 291. So a 288 would jive with current bar low, but there it goes. Right back into the 90s. I don't know if I want to zig and zag here with 3. Perhaps we allow it to clear 3, and then we can start looking at 5.
Sounds good, man. Yeah. All right, guys, let's see what else we got going on here. MTEN at one point was up substantially. Now you're down to $3. Hopefully you got out of that, Adam James. I know you've been cleaning up over the past couple of days. So the real objective is, I mean, they have this saying, so it's not that hard to make money, even though it is. It's harder to keep it, so make sure you don't blow it all away. I mean, you can go to Da Nang right now for a couple of years, as you mentioned, and you just don't have to worry about anything. I mean, obviously being sarcastic about that one, Sharif. Watch, it's only a matter of time until I hear you talking about Da Nang.
Dude, I'm picking up on some stuff with your character. You don't give off the stubborn vibe. You don't give it off. You look like you're accommodating, you know, you're friendly and stuff. But you're undercover stubborn, bro.
I am not. I don't think it's that. Yeah.
It doesn't come off like prima facie.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, undercover, man.
Yeah, when I obsess about something, that's it.
I was going to say undercover stubborn. This is the man that's like vocally trying to get us to have like rate the lunch segments every. I don't think it's undercover. I think it may be a little bit more visible than we all want, which is not a bad thing. Nothing wrong with being stubborn.
I just don't think he gives off like the traditional stubborn vibe, I guess is what I'm trying to say there. But yeah, he has a couple of nuances that he repeats, I guess. So let's anyway. But I think it's good.
Yeah, I think it's great as well too, man. I think everybody loves rating that launch as well. So, anyways, USO still negative, down 3.3%. Man, we're gonna talk about this bloodbath here. Gold and silver getting hit.
Katina
I was actually
coming hot in the chat.
What do you say?
I want to see what people have to say about
what
this.
do you say, man?
He's
120.
like, yeah, this is big here. Who is the most stubborn host? I'll give you 5 minutes. I think we should get a poll on that one.
Yeah, put the poll up there,
throw
man.
up a poll. No, Katina, man.
I think I might
Limit down 232 here, Joey.
I think it might be you, bro.
I'm not stubborn at all.
No?
No. I'm pretty flexible.
When it comes to like temperature and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I'm a very routine person, though.
When it comes to room temperature.
I'm a routine person. Right?
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know if that
equates
to stubbornness. I guess it could.
I'll gladly take that. I'll take that title, man.
Oh boy.
The
answer is easy, but I better not. Oh, I see where Katina Man's going with that. Okay,
what does it start with? Give us the first letter.
Yeah, well, that's not going to be obvious at all.
Give us the first letter and the last letter. It's easily me. It's probably me, for sure. And I'm okay with it, man. Hey, it is what it is. Let's get right back into these markets. Stubborn, yeah, everybody's saying that's it. Ask Selena how I am.
Oh.
Get a probably true answer on
what
that.
What would Selena say if we asked her if you were stubborn?
Oh,
say yes?
Yeah, probably the most stubborn individual she knows. But I'm routine, though, man.
You're routine?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're hiding behind that, then, are you?
I'm not hiding behind anything.
Who does that?
Here we go. We got money going on with Katina Man. Apple down 4.2%. There you go, Katina Man, hitting the dollar club on that Google bounce. Good luck there, brother. And you can see that we have these names up here: the SPY, the triple Qs, NVDA, and Marvell. Also, Apple and Google finally starting to find somewhat of a rebound with a low of around $200 there, guys. I'm going to pull this up one more time before we send it back to Sharif. There we go. Cook up there, my brother. Before we send it back, I want to see how many likes we have, and if it's not at 2,000, then I don't really know what to say because we have 6,300, 1,200. All right, we could do a little bit. 1,200
I
likes.
guarantee you there's no way we get that to 1,500.
Why?
I think
we can get 2,000.
The chat can't do it.
The chat can do. Oh, I see what you're doing here.
Oh, yeah, call it out now. But.
Well, no, but it's true. So you're going to allow this guy to say that the majority of us are incapable of hitting the like button?
Incapable.
It's crazy.
They're incapable.
Prove the man wrong.
Oh.
What better feeling than proving people wrong? So let's get that to $1,500. That'd be nice. 1,500. Did it change? No. Damn.
Dang.
It is what it is, man.
Then dang.
Dang, yeah.
All right. Guys, we're halted down here on EZGO. TAP is showing 190. It's bleeding its own blood.
Oh, that's
the
crazy.
halt. Yeah, 230. Stop making me distracted. 233 halt level. Currently showing TAP of 190. So big down move here on EZGO. But this is kind of part and parcel of these small cap gappers today. It's feast or famine. When they're going up, they're going up pretty aggressively, and when they're coming down, it's being equally aggressive. Katina Man bought more IREN long term. We're going to hope the Katina Man prints up several storms on his IREN position in the same way that he's printed up several storms.
Listen,
on
Sharif,
Marvell.
so I want to get into this conversation. I'm sure we will at some point throughout the intraday session. As ugly as it is today, remember how I was talking about for the past couple of weeks, it's important to sit on some cash. I've made the mistake, learn from the mistakes, and we can have these conversations. Now, if you're fully allocated right now and you didn't happen to get out any of your position yesterday when you got that 2% bump, or you did when you're down 6-7% in some of these stronger names, that's when you start to deploy a fraction of a percent right now. When everyone is feared and running for shelter, now is when you start to buy a little bit, when you have these big names starting to slowly bleed off here.
Yeah, we got to go to Adair with news, but I want to comment on this when we get back.
All right.
Just keep an eye, guys, here on Zoom. I mentioned this because we have a story in Anthropic, and we know that Zoom has invested in Anthropic, so a stock to watch here with these types of stories. Anthropic unveiling their Claude Mythos 5 for a select group of cyber defenders and infrastructure providers. They're also unveiling, as I mentioned earlier, that Claude Fable 5. This is a safe Mythos class model for general usage. So you've got a new Mythos model and then another one that is Mythos class, but safer for general usage here. That is the look for ZM. UMAC also on watch. They're sharing a post on X, which I guess some people have taken to believe is an implication that they'll be assisting in the Apache helicopter crash that President Trump posted about. Back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. So I want to say something.
Yeah.
So you're absolutely right. Everything you said was right. If you're not picking up stuff when it's on sale, then, or, I hate to call it on sale, but during retracements, let's use the technical.
Yeah.
But let's be honest about it. A lot of people do get emotional in this type of economic environment. So what I always say and what I practice, so I'm practicing what I preach here, I throw out resting orders at key levels and I allow them to trigger outside of regular market hours in case I do get
to buy, you're saying.
Yes. And I throw them out at technical levels. And it's a set and forget. So I don't have that emotional variable on days like this. Because look, we're around everybody who's trading. Right? So if I was at work, it'd be a little bit different. If I was at a different work, I would say it'd be a little bit different.
You don't
Why?
look at it.
Because we don't have so much market noise. So I'm not inundated with all these different opinions and the world is ending and the market's crashing. So it's not as easy for someone who's kind of disassociated from this sort of work environment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Throw in your orders, guys. Allow them to trigger.
That's why,
and the same thing goes for your stops, by the way.
And that's why I made sure to emphasize the fact that it's like, hey, I made the mistake during the tariff tantrum to let go of some good names at some good prices. Now we have somewhat form of a catalyst where there's an ongoing war. It doesn't look like there's any form of an end coming anytime soon. Now, if you happen to sell at the peak with Marvell up and AMD going on these big time runs and you trimmed your position, and you're sitting on some cash, now is the time to slowly, so say you have 10,000, you grab $500 here, $500 there. It sells off a little bit more. You don't go all in at once. But when there's blood in the streets, like what we're seeing, don't forget there's somebody on the opposite side buying this stuff up. And just what I'm getting at is, I was the individual, the first generation, I should say. I had to go through the rinser. By no means am I this extraordinary trader on all of this stuff, but I had to learn all my mistakes by myself. Like, okay, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. I didn't have anybody being like, hey, this is what you got to do. And I think it's an extreme privilege for us saying, hey, don't panic unless you've already sold some. Just be relaxed. If you're in high quality names, you're going to go through some form of a roller coaster, and sure enough, eventually things will start to recover. But make sure you're in quality, do your due diligence, and buy a little bit.
Don't buy garbage.
Don't buy garbage. Like, don't think you're going to buy METN or whatever HIAD and then be like, oh man, this thing was at 2,400%. I'm going to buy it up here. It tanks and then continuously holds down and expect this stock to recover. No, that's not the name. Go to each individual sector, which we're going to do right now before we send it back to you, Sharif. And that's what I did. You buy the best in breed.
Buy the best in breed.
Okay, yeah, Katina Man talks about it all the time, okay? So what you would do is if you want to look for a form, like a completely balanced thing, is, okay, real estate sector, what are the top names? Consumer defensive, what are the top names? Costco, the Walmarts, utilities, you go in there, Enbridge and some of these, this Canadian company, healthcare, you go and check the top names and you stay within the upper echelon of specific sectors, then at the end of the day, the chances of you being okay are relatively high. Does everything work accordingly and how you want it to? Not necessarily, but if you're patient enough and you buy the top 3 tech names, or you buy the XLK or the XL, what's the other XL? Anyways, aside from the XLK, and then you go to the XLE, or you want to go consumer cyclical, right? And see everything along those lines, but just stick with the best names. And at the end of the day, I think you'll be all right in the long run.
Well said, Joe, man. I think that's
what's the other
place.
I know there's the XLK, but what's the other sector? It's slipping my mind right.
The XLF?
No, that's financial.
XLK.
That's financials.
So are you talking about the
XLY?
XLY. Okay,
XLY.
gotcha. Okay. All right. I was watching Vivek over here. Shout out to Ramaswamy. VIVK up about 18%. It just tanked though. I mean, it got all the way up, I guess, into about 95 pennies, give or take. A little bit lower, then it dropped all the way down to 75. So I don't know how I feel about this one. A little volatile here, especially being a 74 penny name. It's moving quite erratically. So if I don't have a read on it, I don't have a read. So I'm going to continue to steer clear of this one until, I guess, maybe the volume comes in a little bit more and it stabilizes some of the price action here. But keeping an eye on this. Look, guys, MTEN is trying to recover back into 350 from a halt down. PAVS continues to sell off. AZI is not of interest to me. Neither is ELPW. PAYO, not really doing anything. It's kind of spared from the market volatility. That's top right of your screen. Bottom right is VSMEs also failing. EasyGO is going to be a 10-minute halt here at 232. Last time I looked at the top, it was like below $2 at 190. So I'm not liking anything right now. And unless something shows up anew, then we're going to kind of steer clear of this. MPU just ripped up. Okay, so MPU ripping here as we speak, 58 penny high. It's coming from higher. Sorry, 1 second, Sia. 76.96 pre-market high at 8:30 a.m. 58 penny high, dropping, wow, 10 pennies just like that on a 58 penny name. So it feels like maybe the volatility to the upside here for some of the small caps might be drying out, and we might need to go back to some of the older strategies that we were using, which is to pick things up off key levels. It doesn't look like everything's just going up in a straight line anymore. I'm going to continue to watch MPU, and while I watch that, Sia's going to tell you about this.
It's actually told production too, but if you want to start the news segment, I'm ready.
Yeah, let's go, Sia. Yep.
Let's take a look at our first story for today. The ceasefire hopes a little bit under pressure. Oil has slipped, as we've been talking and observing today, after U.S. President Donald Trump has said the deal to end the Iran conflict would be reached within 2 to 3 days, and that the Strait of Hormuz would reopen immediately thereafter. Trump has also said that the negotiations are in the final stages and would prevent Iran from obtaining any nuclear weapons, which was their goal from the beginning as we know it. Iran has also warned that it could resume attacks if Israeli operations in Lebanon do continue, while Israeli President Benjamin Netanyahu has said that the conflict is not over yet. But we're also getting updates that U.S. President Donald Trump has said the U.S. must respond after Iran has shot down a helicopter over the Hormuz Strait. He also posted on Truth Social recently, just a couple minutes ago. And with that, I would say USO down almost 3%. Adera, Sharif, what do you have to say about that?
I think in terms of this story, I don't have too much to add here. What I will say when it comes to oil is that I think, as Sharif often says, it's really touch and go. It's really headline dependent. I did just see a report here from Axios, specifically from Barak Ravid, saying that apparently this Iranian drone hitting the helicopter that President Trump posted about, it did hit the helicopter. It did get the helicopter to crash. However, the U.S. investigation is yet to determine if this was intentional. So we're going to have to wait and see. It might not matter if it was intentional or not. Also, before sending you back to the guys, keep an eye on Figma. Apparently, there's a Figma integration with this new Claude Mythos launch.
Yeah, that's accurate, Adair. And there's also this, apparently, Israel is preparing for possible solo standoff with Iran. So some media reports coming in here saying Israeli media reported that Prime Minister Netanyahu warned the country may have to confront Iran without the United States support, despite the potential costs in military resources and international isolation. He said, meanwhile, Chief of Staff Eyal Zamir reportedly cautioned that the emerging diplomatic agreement appears unfavorable, saying that, quote, almost every agreement is a bad agreement based on current terms. And this kind of builds into the narrative lately that's been playing out, that it basically says the Israelis are not happy with the current format of the agreement between Iran and the U.S. In fact, the U.S. reportedly getting annoyed by Israel, who's apparently spying on these agreements. Now, whether you believe those reports, I think reasonable people can disagree on that point. The point is to say that everything is awfully volatile and nothing really is secure until, I guess, pen to paper. And then, I'll be honest with you, I'm not even going to be satisfied with pen to paper. I'm going to want to see a sustained period of, calm, peace, where nothing is happening. I want to see ships going through the Strait, right? It's not enough for there to be an agreement. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that, in my opinion, and what President Trump has said, is that the leadership in Iran is highly fragmented. So what one part of the leadership could agree to, the other part could be dead set against. And then we have chaos again, because, you can't really negotiate with a multi-headed beast.
really come into play. And it's
That's what
important,
I feel. It's
right?
the IRGC guys that are kind of putting the kibosh.
Right, it's the military generals, because they have the ability to kind of, like you mentioned, fragment essentially the people as well too. So you have this division within Iran, makes it significantly more difficult. Now, at the end of the day, I stand in the exact same boat. This is going to be an ongoing back and forth, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see this conflict going on for significantly longer than what we're expecting. And I'm talking a year plus, just because as long as you're saying Israel's like, no, we might have to stand alone, that's going to cause more issue. And with that being said, Iran's going to be like, we're not going to open up the Strait. We need everybody to comply. And the states with the exact same thing. They may just say, hey, we're out of this. We've done the damage. We've done what we needed to do. Let's get this right back open. But I also do believe that it's somewhat of a sales pitch. And now you're starting to see a diversification from oil outside of that actual region in the world. Where are we seeing that? I don't know if this is necessarily the case, Sharif, but it's kind of leading towards it. We've seen the uptick in registrations within Tesla in Europe. And then also Donald Trump saying, hey, come buy oil from us, which I think is the most strategic thing you can do. Can
I say something?
Yeah.
Remember how we were always pounding the table, oh, the U.S. is fine for supply because they've locked in from Venezuela. We got the tar sands.
You don't think?
In Alberta. They have their own, obviously. In Texas and many different other places as well, the Gulf, many places.
Yeah.
But apparently, supply may be running low for the U.S. somehow. That's what the report I was reading in the next coming month. I don't know how accurate that is, but that is a report that I read.
I think it's so hard to I feel like some of these reports are so subjective and self-fulfilling right now, Sri, because it's so like back and forth and everything feels just like a little extra opinionated because sometimes you sway from the facts. It's crazy to think that like, hey, oh, ceasefire, and then 30 seconds later, no ceasefire. And when there's that much of a discrepancy in between what each party is saying, there's bigger issues, and that's why I believe there's not going to be any form of a resolution to this conflict anytime soon.
Good trade, Sean. Absolutely killing it. Katina Man's $4 in the money as the market bounces off the bottom. We're recovering a little bit here. But for small cap traders, MPU is absolutely ripping. This is on the Amex now, so you're going to have to be careful because if it halts, we're not going to have an idea what the theoretical auction price is. We won't have a tap on the MPU trade. And it's going to halt here. 72 pennies limit up. High a day, 70 on the dot. MPU up 195, 190%. Keep your eye out on this one. It did a bit of a dance here at the $0.50. This one could see the whole dollar sooner rather than later. Limit up 72. Here we go. Moving into the high, 71.25 high now on M.
Wow, what a good breakout.
But
let's pull that up on the 5-minute time frame before we move on. We're doing the news, right? I know I just
TOPP as well, Joey.
All right, let's take it MPU and see how that was on the 5-minute time frame to see if that was like a high quality high of the day break. I don't see it on my scanner there, Sharif. Maybe I'm just scrolling a little bit too fast, but we'll pull it up over here just to see what we got going on. And this is going to be my ideal play. I know it's fun scalping. Okay, so on the 1-minute time frame, it did have that previous pivot break of 58 cents and climbed up into 70. So not too bad of a look. We're with Sia right now, right? We're working on. Okay, cool, man. Let's head it back over. Let's talk some AAPL. We had the WWDC yesterday. Some interesting things going on there, in my opinion.
Definitely some interesting things. And sorry about earlier. Now I have the correct chart on the screen. Apple has officially unveiled its long-delayed AI-powered Siri at, as Joe said, WWDC, delivering a promise that it first made in the year 2024, but we're going to dive a little bit into the specifics. The new Siri uses Apple Intelligence, which features a dedicated app, supports cross-device conversations, and integrates virtual intelligence for image recognition, productivity tasks, and contextual assistance. So Apple has also expanded its partnership with Gemini and introduced a more powerful on-device AI model optimized for Apple Silicon. AI upgrades have been rolled out across passwords, Safari, messages, photos, home, health, Xcode, and shortcuts, which makes the WWDC heavily focused on AI, and management has emphasized privacy as a key differentiator for Apple versus ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and Grok. With that, Apple is down almost 4%, but I know Adara did have a take on this.
My take on this, and I'll say it before, I'll say it again, because I think it is really, really fascinating. Before this WWDC event, what I wanted to do is just do some research. How does the stock generally perform in WWDC day? You may recall that I also went back to like literally the first of the Apple iPhone events in September, and I went through all of these as well to see how the stock performs on those days. It performs very randomly on the Apple iPhone launch event days in September. It doesn't care that much. However, this is really interesting the way it performs in WWDC because this is not that random. You have, of the last now 17, if you include yesterday, WWDC meetings going back to 2010, these keynote speech days, you're red on 14 of those 17. Now, that is really significant. That shows that generally this is a sell to the news event. You could be like, well, of course, Adair, of course it's a sell to the news event. That's not what we're seeing, though, when it comes to the iPhone launches, which is why this is really significant. So I know, obviously, you know, tomorrow's trade today, next year's trade today, maybe. Watch this to the downside potentially here at that 2027 meeting, just from a trading perspective, because it's really interesting. If you guys recall, you had that spike here above 317.50 yesterday as we got the official wording. The first time Siri AI was said during the meeting, it doesn't even hold for that 1 3-minute candle. It immediately pops up, sells off, and now today trading near 290s. So interesting look here, and I think certainly something to be aware of heading into the 2027 WDC, which again is like 364 days away. But the point remains, guys, I found this to be really interesting from a statistical perspective.
Absolutely. I mean, it's unfortunate for the Apple shareholders like myself that we had to go through that, but this is part of the game. If that's not your cup of tea, then, you know, maybe ETFs, maybe real estate, maybe, hey, invest in art or wine, right? But this is going to be the nature of the game, right? You can be on cloud 9 1 second and then boom, you're right back down. So look, I like a lot of the announcements yesterday, but as I've mentioned many times, all these announcements were basically telegraphed, right? We already knew through leaks exactly what to expect. So I went back, I listened to exactly what he had to say, and it was really nothing that we hadn't heard. We're going to pause for a second. We have to go to Adair with breaking news.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt here, guys, but big move in ASH. This is Ashland Inc., activist investor and Cora Alternatives, building a significant stake in ASH. They're also pushing for the specialty chemicals company to sell itself, according to a Reuters report. So once again here, Reuters reporting that Ancora Alternatives, an activist investor, believes Ashland should sell itself and actually thinks they could get a pretty decent boost of the stock by at least 30%. Back to you.
Thank you very much for that. So, yes, I mentioned this morning that I did install iOS 27 now. As Sia mentioned, it's not coming with the upgraded Siri yet. So remember we talked about how the new Siri is going to live in the top island there? Well, it's not. See? So it still does that little, you know, rectangular rainbow. So some things they still haven't given quite yet. And I only installed it this morning, so I don't have any practical experience with it quite yet. But I do plan on, you know, doing a bit of a deep dive, finding out exactly what I like and what I don't like, and we'll obviously report that back to you guys. But I don't really have a lot to say other than what I spoke about yesterday. Everything was super telegraphed, Joey. Nothing really surprised me.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the issue that people typically have, is that nothing really surprised us with this. Sharif's been going on about the Siri aspect, and you have some more safety feature in regards to kids and permissions on what they can use and app specifics. The one thing that I found personally the most interesting was the fact that you could take a panoramic video and then put it in your Apple Vision Pro. I mean, I don't know, you take from that what you will, and I think that was the highlight of it for me, really. We're talking about liquid glass and stuff. My issue was, Sharif, so when we were talking about Siri and they were going on about it, a couple of the features, I'm like, you know that Google phones were doing this like a year and a half and 2 years
I get that,
ago,
brother, but
right?
people don't care about that.
No,
Apple is always late. It's about bringing it.
Yeah, to the best. Like,
Apple is about bringing it into the Apple ecosystem.
Absolutely.
So I never feel like anything they drop is novel. Do you?
What
Like
have they
new,
ever
like-
dropped that was novel, right? Like, they didn't come out with the first camera phone. They didn't come out with, like, the first MPV
Nothing
version.
they drop is
but,
like an original.
But to add to your point, they make it the best, all right? So, I mean, now you can see it within the WWDC, that event, the keynote, Gemini integrated into Siri. We were talking about that a while ago. So let's see if they can actually make it the best, because I think that's what's going to drive this next potential super cycle within Apple. And I think that's going to be the narrative, especially with AI at the forefront. There's one more point that I wanted to make, slightly slipping my mind. Again, it was just about the fact that, hey, now you can take a screenshot and you can say, hey, you get more of the agentic feature here within Siri, right? Yeah. So it's like you can schedule things, it can plan your routes, it can do a little bit more than what it was before, but the conversational aspect of things, I like how you can change the voice. I was just joking in my head. It's like, I wonder, can I make my Siri like patois, speak patois, or...
Tell me about this guy right here, man. That's visual intelligence. So if you long hold the camera button, it goes straight into visual intelligence. So Assassino, they can see it, right? So watch, if I double click, it just goes into the camera and it'll take a picture. But let's get out. And then if you long hold, it goes into visual intelligence, so you can get it.
Oh, yeah? Is that the new one? Let's see.
You're a joker.
Let's see that again. Let me see.
Yeah, so long hold the
that side
button there. Right, you didn't upgrade yet, though. You didn't get iOS 27, did you? You have to be part of the beta. So you have to sign up for beta on their website, and then it'll update on your phone so that you can download iOS 27.
So I think the real question is here, Sharif. I know we're kind of just going on about this one here. I want to see it do some really cool things, but just like being able to display and read data from your phone, and then you can base things off of that. So I would like to do an experiment of when you go like, hey, where am I? Or where is this picture located? Or something along those lines. And then have the ability to display where it is. That's what it said it's doing. Let's send things off to Adara. Apparently no one cares, but let's see what we got going on over there.
I have some Iran headlines here, guys. Keep an eye on the S&P 500 and on USO. New York Times reporting that Iran and the U.S. have zeroed in on 4 nuclear issues through their talks. Apparently, the U.S. believes that Iran will be settling on a 15-year enrichment suspension. Now, that keyword there is believes. It doesn't sound like Iran has told the U.S. that they will agree to that 15-year suspension, but the U.S. seems to believe that Iran could at least potentially agree. So that's the deal here with USO and the market again. U.S. and Iran settling on 4 nuclear issues with talks, and the U.S. does believe Iran could agree with a 15-year enrichment suspension for their nuclear. Back to you.
Okay, so what I actually just did there, Sharif, is I took a picture of this. Well, I brought up I don't even have the beta thing, but I held it. No, but I held it.
Held it, and it worked?
And look what it brought up.
Oh, no. Right? It's working.
So literally, I just screenshot this mug. I headed into the intelligence feature, and I just took a picture of this, right? And then it brought up
fake news, Big Donka.
Who said thank you for this what?
Big Donka's like fake news. Oh, I think maybe he's talking about.
Oh yeah, about whatever's going on. Yeah, it's all. Listen, it's a tennis match, guys. It's going to go back. Nice recovery here. Let's touch back on these markets real quick before we send it back to Sia. We're still a lot of red, but things are looking a little bit more optimistic. We're not as down as much as we were before. NVDA was down 6%, almost. You're now down 2.4%. And then Google, Katina Man, only down 0.14%. So you could get somewhat of a market recovery here. The Nasdaq and the SPY, SPY down 1 1.5, I should say, and then we have the Nasdaq down 2.5%. Marvell getting hit heavy with 11.5% to the downside, and then Rigetti also delisted apparently 11 1/3. Being sarcastic, it is not. But let's send things back to Sia and talk a little NVDA.
Let's talk a little NVIDIA. We have gone over this before about the Washington scrutiny that it was facing and how Senator Elizabeth Warren had, as CEO of the company, Jensen Huang, to come in. But now we have received reports saying that he has declined the invitation from Senator Elizabeth Warren to testify before the Senate Banking Committee on the AI, China, and U.S. export controls. The hearing is focused on American AI leadership, affordability, innovation, and also national security concerns that surround artificial intelligence overall. Senator Warren also wants answers regarding NVIDIA's China business and whether AI chips should continue being sold into foreign markets. This was a certain, again, security risk that was a concern that came up. Huang has also consistently argued that American companies should remain competitive globally, which also include in China. And critics are arguing that this certain approach could strengthen strategic rivals. Now, with that, NVIDIA is down on the day 2.3%. Adara, what's your take on NVIDIA? I know you like the Senate Banking Committee a lot.
I love the Senate Banking Committee, guys. Like, I love watching all of the committee meetings, but there's something about the Senate Banking Committee that is just an extra level of chef's kiss. Now, this is really interesting here. So I pulled up the list of full witnesses. They're still holding this hearing. Jensen just won't be there. Mike Flynn, David Feith, Will Reinhardt, Sarah Myers-West. Like, I just feel like Jensen would have been a really great addition to this witness list. I'm really sad that he's not coming, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart to the top of my heart. But no, all jokes aside, that Jensen did say, according to CNBC, that he has no problem hosting Elizabeth Warren or any other senator on the Senate Banking Committee at NVIDIA headquarters if that happens and or when that happens. I cannot wait to see the video stream that will result from some of those Senate Banking Committee members being at NVIDIA headquarters. But either way, fortunately, he's not there. And as someone who loves these Senate hearings, I'm very bummed out.
Okay. This is Dwarkesh. And who remembers this podcast? This was one of Jensen's most awkward moments that I've seen the CEO engage in. And it's very relevant to why he was being invited to the Senate Banking Committee, because they want to press him on China sales of advanced GPUs. And that's what Dwarkesh pushed him on. And he did not like that one bit, and it got weird, okay? Now, great interview by Dwarkesh. Great. I mean, that's his job, is to push and get for answers. No beef with him. But Jensen clearly was uncomfortable and clearly didn't have what I would say would be a solid answer. And I say that because people after this were split. There was basically two camps. People who were on Dwarkesh's side, who said Jensen made no, sound argument as to how the Chinese military is not going to use his advanced chips to basically better themselves, and obviously with autonomous targeting and everything that can be done with that. And then there was basically the camp that side with Jensen and side with President Trump, which is if we don't sell our chips to China, they're either going to have their own domestic alternative that will catch fire faster or catch wind faster, and then they're going to sell it to the rest of the world, and we'll be out of luck. So why would he want to go through that again? Because we know what she's going to press him on. She's going to press him on that exact issue. So I think he wants no part of that unless you're going to force him there through a subpoena. He doesn't show.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a lose-lose situation. I think Jensen's going to have a hard time understanding as well, too, if you have regulators on both sides, don't know if they're coming or going. I think that's really important. I just want to note that we heard the news during the WWDC that NVDA and Apple are going to be partnering. The stock did nothing. It actually, a matter of fact, was up at 1.25 and then proceeded to sell off almost 6% here today. You guys heard what I said. I said it on multiple occasions with this stock falling into the realm of what Microsoft has been up to. Lengthy consolidation, breakouts, and then back into consolidation modes, and then potentially even selling. The fact that we didn't even move on this Apple news is a little bit alarming to me. I will forever be a shareholder of this. Will I sell some at some point? Yeah, but not anywhere close. Analyst actions and some of the upgrades are talking we're $300, $350, even $400, so a double from where we're currently sitting at. Probably helping it remain the highest market capitalization name on the planet. You just have to be prepared to sit through some volatility. But if we have a catalyst like the NVDA and Apple partnership and the stock doesn't rally, there might be some more issues. I just don't think Jensen can also answer some of those questions that were asked because the regulators don't know if they want these chips or not. China saying one thing.
If they agree, Joey, even if they agree. So say the Chinese regulator doesn't have an objection anymore. They kind of fold on wanting to make a domestic alternative through Huawei and SMIC and everybody else who's throwing their hat into that ring. What does he stand to gain from this, man? He's already went down that road before with this argument, and it split into two camps, right? Why reignite that issue? He stands to gain nothing unless he's got a new argument that he can kind of posit, and I don't think he does because really there's no answer to this. But to be honest with you, I want to read a post here that Jay Lee. Jay Lee is obviously a person of opinions there. The world is stupid, he says. If China wants anything made in Taiwan, they have thousands of agents that they can use to get anything they want and smuggle it is the SOP. Look, I don't know if it's quite that simple, but your point well taken, Jay. I mean, obviously corporate espionage is a very, very obvious thing in our life. I mean, there's no doubt about that.
So like what I was getting at there, Sharif, and I think you and I have had this conversation before, you sell the chips to China, your best chip, they take them, they make them a little bit better. You don't sell them, you put them in the back of the corner, you put them in a corner and they have to create their own chips, which at some point the race is starting to slowly close in, and they come up with something slightly better. So what do you want to do at the end of the day? Do you want to sell them it, they make your chip a little bit better, or do you want to not sell them it, make zero money, and then they end up coming up with something better?
And that's what he says. But again, how do you answer the argument?
Yeah.
Hold on. How do you answer the argument that these chips, the H200 specifically, the second best chip that they have, the Hopper 200, how do you answer the fact that if the Chinese military gets their hand on it, it will advance their abilities? How do you? I mean, what argument is there to that?
So
we know for a fact if they get their hands on the H200 en masse, which they already do, if they get more of it, then there's going to advance their military to even greater lengths or even greater abilities.
Absolutely.
So how do you answer that point?
It's tough, man. It's tough.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I watched that Vice bit yesterday on autonomous warfare. It's pretty crazy.
Thoughts?
It's very interesting. I mean, the technology that these individuals are coming out with is insane. The drone warfare, unmanned vehicles that don't even have people behind screens operating them. It's just strictly autonomous AI vehicles.
Terminator was it was like straight up documentary.
That's what people are saying. That's what he was referring to.
Yeah, this is the way it is. Guys, just before we head back to Sia, MPU is a rocket ship, guys. Up into 75 pennies. Here we go, 216%. This one's really going. It held 50. I don't want to say cleanly, but it did well. It dropped down into 45, quickly regained 50. In a hurry, took out 60. And there you go, 70 penny HOD break with a high there of about 78 and change. MPU. It is an MX stock, meaning that if it halts, we're not going to have eyes on the top. The theoretical auction price will have to fly blind. So keep that in mind. Mr. Love Shack. Get it, Mr. Love Shack? At least you made money if you sold it to them. They will advance their own chips regardless. That's the other side of the argument. And I completely agree with you, Mr. Love Shack, and I think that's what Joey was saying.
That's exactly what I was saying.
Yeah, but by the way, they still can't get their hands, and we know that they can't, on the extreme ultraviolet lithography machine from ASML. They can get deep, but deep ain't extreme. So,
the light on that stuff is crazy.
See the size of that?
Yeah.
It's the size of this room.
Yeah, man. It's pretty cool. It's just like it's not a real color. They just created it.
Well, because it's not a natural.
It's not
something
a natural.
that you're like. Apparently, like when stars explode, you get that extra.
Ultraviolet.
The ultraviolet.
Right out to the movie. See ya.
All right. See ya.
Let's talk Rivian. This is really exciting. I actually do like this brand. Now, Rivian is officially launching its R2 electric vehicle. On the website, it says order invitations start going out today. Demo drives begin today. And the first R2 vehicles start arriving in driveways across America. It has also pulled ahead its entry-level $45,000 model from late 2027 to next summer. I think this car looks really cool. The R2 SUV is meant to transform, is a keyword here, Rivian into a niche EV manufacturer that sells luxury vehicles. Well, basically, you know it, you've heard the name, into more mainstream brands like Tesla. Rivian CEO RJ Scaringe has also said that he believes that the vehicle will compete with Tesla, but also legacy mainstream automotive brands such as Jeep and Subaru. And to launch this roll-up, they also had a block party from June 5th to June 7th across their locations in the US. Currently, Rivian, however, down 7%. It was supposed to create a bit of excitement within the market, but it has missed. It's down 7%. What do you have to say about that?
I think it's getting clipped with the entire market, Sia. I don't think it's a Rivian specific story that we're selling off. I think the R2, if they can make this en masse and it doesn't have a major problem, bless you, Fabian. I think this is going to be a definite competitor for the Model Y. It just has to be close in price point. Now we've already kind of got an idea of what they're going to be selling it at, but it always changes come actual sale time, because of obviously the intricacies of the manufacturing process. So I love Rivian. I think RJ is an underrated CEO. I think he's pretty good. I think the fact that they were able to stay afloat for this long and not go the way of many other EVs, Fisker, Polestar, like there's a lot, Workhorse. There's a lot that I could just keep going on. There's so many that have kind of come and gone. The fact that Rivian's still here, I think that says something. And now with the Georgia plant, I think almost near completion, and the amount of cars that they said that they're going to be able to release on a yearly basis, I think we're talking in the range of about 300,000 and change. I think that's a needle mover. I like Rivian. If you're holding Rivian, I think you're going to need a little bit more patience, though.
I think so too. We talked about these auto manufacturers. It's a little bit tougher of a look. The one that has been moving hard as of late is Ford, but it has nothing really.
Daily shout out.
And VinFast, are you talking about? But this move here has a lot to do with energy storage, right? Not necessarily the vehicles. I think pricing, as Sharif mentioned, if you can remain competitive, I think that's really important. And I don't know how much this is going to hinder. I know the R2 isn't coming here to Canada anytime soon, but with 50.
Oh, you caught his attention.
But hear me out here, Randy. With 50,000. Listen, hold on now. With 50,000. With 50,000 Chinese EVs coming to our borders, how is this going to reflect Rivian and their ability to grab any
That's a great point. But I want to say
share.
in the interim basis, it's Tesla taking up the majority of that supply through the Model 3 and the Model Y.
Yeah.
We were talking, the Katina man and I, Randy and I as well as you, obviously.
Yep.
We were talking about the Model 3 base, Joey.
Yeah.
How much?
You said 40K it was.
40K.
Yeah.
Now, if you want the Model 3 Premium, all-wheel drive, 530 kilometers of range, correct me if I'm wrong, $49.99. Then those are both coming from Shanghai. So what I'm trying to say is, in the meantime, until we start seeing BYD, NIO, XPEP set up shop here, so they have infrastructure to service these cars, we're going to see Tesla take up that supply. What do you think?
I totally agree. And what I was getting at, I don't think it really matters the brand of the vehicle, just the pricing, the ability you can price them.
I see what you're saying.
Right, and be competitive within it. Like it could be like anything. It's just that the fact that it's cheaper, and that's what people are looking for. You guys were talking like 160K for this R2 or 150K or something along those.
60K, bro.
For the R1?
R1?
Yeah. See, so 60K. You have to be. What I'm getting at is you have to be competitive.
You have to be price competitive.
You have that, and that's what I'm getting at.
Completely agree.
Price competitive.
Cost competitive.
Yeah, cost competitive.
So to Joe's point, is Rivian going to have competition when the R2 hits our border? Yes. Okay, the 50,000 EVs, that's the cap, by the way.
Yep.
Is that much? Not really.
It's 3%.
I mean,
all car sales?
Yeah, of annual car sales.
Okay, so is 50,000 huge? No, it's going to trickle in. Can Rivian make a dent in that number? Probably. Sean buys one, you buy one, my neighbor buys one. We'll figure it out. Oh, there we go.
Is that the money? That's everything going down.
She gone.
He's going to have to buy another two, right?
Maybe they sell 5,000. Okay, maybe they sell 10,000. Who knows? Give them a little bit of runway, and we'll see what happens. Is it huge? No, it's not. The numbers don't mean a lot, to be honest. Is it accessible at 50K? Absolutely.
Okay, so let me put something to you here. Is the real mover, the needle mover, is it the R2 or the upcoming R3? Because that one is going to be significantly less expensive, but I happen to hate the design. I hate that kind of rounded, small hatchback. It reminds me of like what are they like? Remember the Sundance? Remember those like 80s hatchbacks? They were 4-door, like the ZX5, like the Focus ZX5. I hate those cars.
You don't like this?
No. The R3? I despise that design.
You don't like this?
No.
That doesn't give you a little Rolls Royce back there?
Bro,
it's called a camback.
No, hold on, man.
Comparing this to a Cullinan,
hold on, man. Yeah, you know exactly what I'm getting at.
No, man,
that's called a camback design. It's been around for decades. So, I mean, honestly, the R3, will it get more traction? Will some people buy it? Sure it will. Here's what needs to happen for Rivian. They need to build brand value. Okay? They need to do it here. They're a new car company. New in that I've seen a dozen Rivians on the road this year. How do you build value? Okay? You build trust, you build reliability, you build a good product that's not recalled every 5 minutes. Hello, Ford. Okay? And then you put a good product out. I know. Sorry, Jim. Jim, I love you. But,
always gonna dump that
you got to get a good product on there and you build brand value. So you buy an R2 and you tell your buddy, hey, I'm looking for an EV. How do you like your Rivian? Not bad. Go for test drive. Okay, maybe I'll pick one up. The Chinese companies, same thing. We don't know. Nobody knows about BYD or Zeekr. Like, do you trust these companies? Maybe, maybe not. If price is your only concern, buy whatever the hell you want. If you're going to hold this car for a long time and enjoy it and want reliability and want that trust and want the value out of the car, then you're going to do your homework. And
let me come at you with a curveball here. Much like the Koreans did when they started bringing in their models in that the North American consumer wasn't well aware of. Are they going to start smashing 160,000, 180,000 kilometer warranties to kind of alleviate that concern? Because that's what the Koreans did, isn't that? Isn't
Remember
what they were doing to Hyundai and Kia?
I'm dating myself here. Way back in '84, there was the Hyundai Pony.
I remember that. I remember it. Yes.
It was basically a disposable car for 4,500 Canadian dollars out the door.
Crazy.
They lasted about 3 years because the rust got so bad you could see through it on a sunny day. Where is Hyundai now?
They're killing it.
Okay,
They're
it
killing
took them a better part of a decade, but now they have brand value, brand recognition, and look at how many cars they sell.
Yeah,
it
they sell
takes
a
a
lot,
while to get there. This game is not instant. And because electrics are new to a lot of people, there's even a higher barrier to entry.
said.
So give it
Well said.
time, give it some runway. Let these guys make a dent, and we'll see what happens.
I like that vehicle, dude. Did you see your boy Marquez do the
On what? For the Leaf?
The Ferrari.
The Leaf, yeah.
Yeah.
So you missed that because I was telling Randy in the morning. I'm like, the interior of that car is fantastic.
Fantastic.
The exterior,
Ugly, dude. Did you see those are like the winter hubcaps? The one that he did the review on. You know,
Yeah.
he just put the steel rims on your
exactly.
vehicle. That's what it looked like.
Throw that up.
What do you mean? Throw it up? Yeah, put it up, man. Put it. I don't got control of it. You don't like that,
Hold on. I mean, it gives me shades of this,
bro.
It's what it looks like.
Come on, bro.
And I had this car for 4 years.
So you should like this,
university,
then.
bro. In university, I don't want to ever drive a car with that kind of design.
You actually
again,
don't
man.
like this?
No, I don't. man. I don't.
See, you don't like it?
I think that's a hideous design.
Are you talking about the R2 design?
The R3, what I have
that
up on
one
my
on the
screen.
screen. Yeah.
On my screen.
Yeah. That's a hideous design.
It looks like a box.
Assassino, you like the design or no?
He's trying to be nice to you, bro. You know he's trying to be nice to you.
The way Assassino's just like,
Yeah, okay. Katina, man, do you like the R3, brother? Like, can you throw that up?
Yeah.
If we could, Assassino, can we throw that up again?
Oh, what is that? That's not even. I'm talking about.
All right,
dangerous
so let's get Neil in on the conversation. Can we throw that up again?
Pull it up one more time here, man. Hold on.
The car, so Neil can have a gander of it right there. No, put the side view.
I'm trying to get the. It told me it was a dangerous.
Man.
Told me it was a dangerous site, my boy.
You like this?
I like it.
Well, you show him the video, man, or show him the picture or something.
Show him the picture.
View gallery.
View gallery.
You like that, Neil?
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Come on.
Hideous.
And
car,
you're hating
bro.
on the Ferrari, my boy.
Of course I'm hating on that because it's ugly.
But do you see what I'm getting at? How that's slanted back? I know we shouldn't be doing the comparison, but it has that like the Cullinan.
I'll say it again.
Assassino laughing at me now, which is crazy. Yeah. All right. Madness, man.
I'm excited for the...
Katina Man's asking... Sorry, go ahead, Sia.
Sorry, no, you're good. I'm very excited for the Audi TT EV coming this year.
That I can definitely get behind. By the way, Sia, did you see the new Audi option that taps in to the city's... what's it called? Traffic light grid. So it knows exactly when the traffic light's going to open. It has a little timer on the dashboard. I think that's pretty cool.
Look at that, man. You get that back slant there on the Cullinan there. So.
Bro, stop comparing them. But anyway, all right. Let's send it back to see. I think we beat up Rivian enough.
Ramin said that's old.
Oh, wow.
Okay. We're going to talk a little bit about Alibaba. The Pentagon has added Baba, Baidu, BYD, NIO, and several other companies, Chinese technology companies, to its updated 1260H list of firms that are believed to support China's military industrial base. Now, the designation does not impose any direct sanctions, but it will prohibit the U.S. military from contracting with any of these companies. These firms have, like you would have expected, disputed the classification and indicated that they will be taking certain legal streams to dispute this and certain avenues to seek removal of the same. This move comes after U.S. President Donald Trump and Xi had agreed to a trade truce, which highlights the ongoing disconnect between trade and diplomacy and the U.S. national security policy. Now, Washington also continues to view the Chinese technology, AI, biotech, robotics, and semiconductor companies are increasingly intertwined with the state's military objectives. And with that, Baba is trading flat.
Yeah, I think what's critical here is that this designation, I think it's called the 1260H designation, is only preventing them from doing business with the U.S. military proper. It doesn't restrict them from getting, you know, some of the non-prohibited chips like the like Blackwell the H200, the H100, and H20 if they're even buying that. Nor does it restrict them from getting anything else. And I don't really know. I didn't really look at the research, but I can't imagine that Alibaba and Baidu and Neo are doing that much business with the U.S. military to begin with. So I think this is more of a symbolic designation than it is, you know, a practical one. How do you feel about this?
I think it's interesting, to be honest with you. I mean, Tencent was added to the same list last year. So, I mean, I think it's just a little bit of a dig at some of these companies, right? The Chinese ADRs, considering there's no definitive deal done yet between the two countries. And I think that's the narrative that I'm going to stick on. I wouldn't be surprised if you head over there and the Chinese are doing the exact same thing. We already know that some of their social media platforms aren't allowed there. Google, the exact same thing. So it's just a real tit-for-tat scenario. We put this on, essentially, you can't do business with the military list. We're going to do the exact same thing with you. So that's where I stand on this specific.
Like, I mean, Alibaba doesn't do any business with the US military. Like, I've never seen them.
No, not that
like,
we know.
They have cloud hosting. On what kind of psychotic military leader is going to put military cloud hosting on Baba?
Yeah,
you know?
exactly, right? Like,
there, right?
I don't think that's necessarily going to be the case.
Not gonna happen.
It's more or less just to, yeah, exactly, man. Just the icing on the cake, considering the AI build-out war, when you have Alibaba building data centers in Brazil.
That's, I think, where it gets a little prickly. They don't want the Chinese anywhere in the Western Hemisphere.
No,
they don't want them there. And that's been made pretty clear. Chat, am I getting this wrong? Do they actually do business, the military, with some of these named Chinese companies? Now, I know not all the companies are listed there. It's a non-exhaustive list, but my understanding is that there's probably really very little in the way of business. If I'm wrong, tag me, let me know that I'm wrong. But for now, we're going to go to Sia with the next story.
Not here.
Oh, okay. So then we'll not go to the next story. All right. So let's hang out here. Let's have a look at. Oh yeah. Let me know when you're ready to go, Sia, because we're done talking about Alibaba there. So if you're ready to go. Okay, no problem. Only American companies are allies. Luis Suarez, keep the market down to tomorrow. I got some money coming in. All right,
that,
Luis,
man?
the biter. Luis Suarez is telling me to keep the market down. I don't understand how much money this guy thinks I have, man. What's going on?
The market down. Well, you're sitting on some cash too, no?
Sitting on some cash, homie. Well, yeah. Hold, we're getting a beep.
No, I'm not talking about here, man.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about that. Oh. Let me know when you're ready, Sia. All right, let's go.
Okay, the next thing that we're talking about is Intel shares have moved higher after expanding its partnership with Cadence Design Systems, which is a major semiconductor design software provider. Now, the agreement focuses on optimizing Intel's next-gen 14A manufacturing process, which is one of the key nodals Intel is counting on to attract outside of its foundry customers. The announcement follows recent reports that both Google and Nvidia are evaluating Intel as a potential backup manufacturing partner for advanced chips. The market is also focused on whether Intel can turn its foundry business into a viable competitor, to TSMC and secure customers. Analysts are viewing Cadence's involvement as a sign that the ecosystem partners are believing 14A has a realistic path to a commercial adoption. With that, Intel, how are we doing today? I feel like, yeah, down on the day, almost 5.5%. Adara, what's your take on Intel?
Hey guys, everything's pretty red today, honestly, like regardless of any specific catalyst. We've already seen that with Micron with that big upgrade, and it's sharply to the downside. With INTC, Sharif mentioned it this morning, but truthfully, it's the first thing that came to my mind the second I heard the words Intel and Cadence together. It involves the guy on my screen. His name is Lip Bhutan. Lip Bhutan, currently CEO of Intel, previously CEO of Cadence. So now, as Sharif mentioned, probably a little bit easier to make the deals there, but it's worth noting Lip Bhutan already a big deal maker. We already knew this. I have literally an infographic dedicated to it. He's made deals with the likes of Nvidia. Google, in talks to make a deal with Apple. We know he made a deal with Elon Musk, the US government. So Nvidia, like, Lip Bhutan knows how to make deals. It's kind of hard to say that the Cadence deal is solely because he used to be CEO, but I think it certainly gives him an in there. Either way, you do have to shout out Lip-Bhutan here. Once again, another deal made by this company. And, I certainly, if you go back 2 years, I wouldn't think that the way to save Intel's stock and reputation would be to make a whole bunch of deals. But Lip-Bhutan has done a great job here at the helm of this company. It cannot be denied. It should not be denied. Regardless of what the stock's doing today, I have to give a hat off to Lip-Bhu. Hi, Lip-Bhu.
Well, what a nice smile on him right there. Guys, I have to mention, shout out to the chat, man. You guys are undefeated. Fabian, if we could throw the chart just to show them, DSS halted at $1 right now, ramping up through 50. And then it saw $1 like in 15 minutes, okay? So this one doubled its value. You can see the volume just coming in locally over here. 135 breakout halted, $1, ticker DSS. Volume on this one, 27.2. I don't know what the halt time is. Let me just double check that super quick for y'all. 1 second. DSS on the NQ. Nope, not on the NQ. NY. No. Amex. Okay. So halt time, 1:50:36. Earliest open we will have is 1:55:36. We will not be able to see the tap because this is on the Amex. So we will not be able to see the theoretical auction price. This is on AMX. So 1:55:36 open for DSS. Let's go back here. Let's talk a little bit about Intel. So let's get right down to work. Adara went through the exhaustive connection between Cadence Design Systems and Lip-Bhutan, who's now at the helm, so we won't go through that. But what I really want to stress here is this is a good story, fine, for Intel because they're advancing their 14A node. But it's also a bad story because they weren't able to do it internally. They had to outsource to Cadence Design Systems for certain tooling because they couldn't get it right internally. Now, that doesn't mean that they're going to get it wrong forever and ever more. What it is saying is that they don't have it right now. So even though it advances one cause, which is advancing 14A, it's also a concession that they're not able to kind of meet the moment and they're having to outsource this to other companies. So I feel it's a bit of a catch-22, a little good, a little bad. Let's talk about the fact as well that into this print, this announcement between Intel and Cadence, corporate insiders at Cadence were selling up a storm to the tune of $67 million. $67.5 million worth of shares leading directly into the announcement. Last but not least, we know that this is super important. This deal here with Cadence is super important for Apple as well. How come? Because it's Apple who's the first anchor client for their 14A node. And if you get it right with Apple, in my humble submission, you're gonna have a lineup of companies who are gonna wanna do business with you there. Now, Apple's not gonna let them go into the most important part of their segment right away. You're gonna be making the A-series processor under that 14A node, not the M-series processor. Yeah, not the M-series processor. So we'll have to see whether they can get the M-series deal as well. But this is super important for Intel. Their yields have to increase for their 14A node on the wafers, and they have to make sure that Apple is happy as an anchor client. Otherwise, I don't see too much in the way of business coming subsequent to that. What do you think about this?
No, I agree, and I think just being the backup as well too is something positive because if you have workloads and a massive backlog, then you can see the companies just essentially flow into Intel, and that's positive for it. Lip-Bhutan definitely had a major influence, but let's not beat around the bush with Donald Trump's onshoring plan. As soon as he started his second term, I should say, he's like, hey, we're going to start using these American companies. And we've seen truths about I would have made Intel great a long time ago. Aside from that, you have 10% stake within the company, but now you're going to start seeing these major American corporations continuously use Intel. And to add to Sharif's point, as soon as you have a good rapport with one big-time customer, you're going to have a lineup out the door. Is that going to necessarily be the case here with Intel? I don't know. I think we still need a little bit more time. Margins are obviously a big factor playing into this, but you're a backup for some of the biggest companies. I think that's something positive to look forward to, and the 10% stake doesn't hurt.
Doesn't hurt, yeah, certainly. From the U.S. taxpayer side, certainly. So they're up on their money there. Guys, DSS halted down. It did make a new high a day on the open. It popped up into 107, but the bid was not there. We are now halted down on DSS on the MX. 87 pennies halt time. 156.01 earliest open to 01, yeah, literally 201.01. So be on the lookout there. DSS halted down. Send it back to Sia for the last story, I guess.
Yeah, see, I was writing this story and I really didn't pay attention that it literally involves my dad's car. So now I'm concerned and I'm gonna have to tell him about this. Stellantis has told owners of 1.3 million Jeeps to park outside over certain fire concerns. Stellantis is recalling more than 1.3 million Jeep SUVs and trucks worldwide over fire concerns and urging owners to park outside and away from structures or other vehicles until the fix is fully completed. It is said in a filing with the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration today that the recall covers 2021, yeah, he's affected, through 2025 model year Jeep Wrangler SUVs and Jeep Gladiator trucks due to an electrical connection issue in the electric hydraulic power steer pump wiring. The company has said that it was aware of the field reports of at least 72 fires that may be tied to the issue and a single injury. The recall includes nearly 1.08 million vehicles in the United States, 106,000 in Canada, 23,000 in Mexico, and about 125,000 in other markets around the world. And with that, the company's stock, how are you doing today? It's down 1.2%.
I actually thought about getting into this stock. It's just so beat down that I was like, maybe I should just bottom pick here on some Stellantis. But every time I look at a level and I come back a couple of days later, that level's been breached at the downside. So I don't mean to dunk on them when they're down, but reading some of the comments here about Stellantis to avoid, the consensus seems to be there in the chat from those who are commenting. So look, Joey, this is never really a good look. We know Stellantis has been very aggressive with their cost cutting lately. They've canceled, obviously, or they've shut down, much to the chagrin of the provincial government in this country, the Brampton plant. A lot of people are going to be out of a job as a result of that. We've also seen, I'm not just to isolate them, GM did as well, a shift in Oshawa. We saw Honda not go ahead with the EV plant that they were planning on building in Ontario. So this is, just more pressure for the auto industry. Stellantis specifically, though, I think is the worst of the three. If you want to call Stellantis a North American brand, even though, STLA is European, but that Chrysler and Dodge and all that. What do you think about this, man? Do you think they have the right product mix here? Because I don't.
It's funny, like I'm reading about like they're having issues with some of their plug-in hybrids as well too, like 17,000 vehicles are having some electrical issues. Listen, Sharif, I don't like this, I don't like the legacy manufacturer.
Do you like any of their cars other than the Wrangler? I know you like the Wrangler.
I don't mind the Gladiator.
Yeah, the Gladiator is pretty cool.
I like it, right? Like, but
big.
Yeah, it's very big.
Go ahead, Sia.
It's a great car. I love the Gladiator, but I also like the Wrangler. I think it's really good. Like the off-roading in it is insane.
Okay, so there's two kinds of cars that I like. Convertibles and SUVs. And the Wrangler gives you both. Everything okay? It's all right. Everything's fine. And the Wrangler gives you both. But when I sat in the Wrangler, before I bought my F-Pace, I went and I looked with my old man at the Wrangler. I sat in the driver's seat, and the cockpit is like right in your face. There's no room. There's no room. It's so tight for such a big car. So I was like, I'm not feeling it.
Sharif, like, I mean, at the end of the day, GM is one of the only names that has been performing over time. I look at some of these legacy manufacturers, what I was getting at is some of the retail names, man. It's such a tough space and a lower margin business that I just don't like. Stellantis. Ford, maybe somewhat of an exception because of the energy.
I know you like that.
Right? Like, and even Tesla, people are throwing the EV side of things to the curb, and we're like, hey, man, we're just autonomous vehicles, cybercab, higher margin, and robotics. Like, it's like we're not even talking about the basic vehicles anymore, man. I think it's such a, and I think it's such a tough space to be involved in.
That's it's like a really, bless you, Adara. It's a cool thing in India, like when you go into national parks, like wildlife photographers and everyone, there's cars dedicated that go inside, and they dibble and dabble between Maruti Suzuki cars and Jeep Wranglers too.
Makes sense.
Which makes sense, but for a rugged terrain like that, where the car can climb anywhere, so I think that's like a great advantage, and that's what I love in a car, honestly.
And there are obviously good cars in North America as well, where we have a lot of snow. I mean, I completely agree.
Toyota, the best vehicle out there.
How do you
Toyota, right?
Toyota?
Toyota.
It's Toyota?
Toyota.
Isn't it Toyota?
It's Toyota. Yeah, it's Toyota.
Hyundai?
Hyundai.
All right. All right.
Yeah, that's it, man. It's done. Show's over. Those guys are ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, they're always ready to rock and roll, bro. Katina man stays ready. So Neil stays ready. So they don't have to get ready. All right, guys. It's been a hell of a show today. It's small cap season. You know, sadly, they didn't continue in the way that we saw them continue yesterday, but they were strong at the top of the show. But I hope for everybody who watches these small caps, it's sort of a lesson in context that they are around for a good time and not a long time. And that's how you always have to view them. It's not like something that you perhaps can DCA next day, and it's not a Tesla, it's not an Nvidia, right?
Yeah, man.
And that's just the way that they are. Gotta treat them like that. Send them off, Joey.
You know, I hope everyone had a fantastic day. We talked about just having a little bit of powder, and these are the scenarios that you want to sit on some cash, especially have some big runs. If you've been on the right side of things within the AMDs, MUs, SanDisks, and some like DRAM and some of these high flyers, the Marvells, hopefully you sold a little bit at the top to sit on some cash to buy your shares back at lower prices. That's the narrative. Learn from our mistakes and keep on keeping on.
Shout out to Joe Dirt.